Can you hold on? Just hold on a second. Okay, I think I'm doing.
I pressed the button. We're live.
Fine.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE and welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what the parents of anti-vaxxers do to the prospects of their children living past 25. Yeah, vax your kids. And Flat Ferdinand's making a bunch of noise already. So we are here for a round two with Flat Ferdinand. We had some kind of shit show on Team Skeptic's channel a couple of nights ago. And we're going to go again for some reason because he seems to think that I couldn't answer his questions. So, Flat, welcome to my channel this time. Why don't I just hand it over to you because there's not going to be any structure today, but we're just going to let you have 10 minutes to present some evidence.
Hold on. Before we get started, I would like to say that we ended on a very specific note.
Yes.
He ended on the Flat Earth Litmus Test, which he said he'd take the next time he came on. So before he has too much alcohol or anything to drink, let's go ahead and administer the Flat Earth Litmus Test.
Okay.
And then let's let him come on.
Right.
Okay,
Okay, there we go. So we're just going to ask you the 3 Flat Earth Litmus Test questions first, Flat, all right? So you have a triangle of sides 1, 1, and 1. What are the internal angles?
I mean, nobody cares because it's not going to make water bend. We're talking about flat Earth. We're talking about a pen on paper.
So do you know the answer? Because this is the test we give flat earthers. I think 90% of them fail.
Like, so what is this? Another stick test?
No, it's nothing to do with a stick. It's a simple question. If I have a triangle,
it's a litmus test.
Yeah, I have a triangle, and the sides of that triangle are 1, 1, and 1. So what are the internal angles of that triangle?
You're breaking up on me here.
Okay, I'll try again. You have a triangle with sides 1, 1, and 1. What are the internal angles?
Who cares? Can you explain to me what I'm trying to answer? So whatever you call them, acute angles on the inside? I don't know. You want me to Google it? It's like some kind of 33 degree something?
I'm testing your basic knowledge. I'm testing your basic knowledge. All right, so that's...
I don't see how this applies to...
You failed that one. All right, okay, so...
That's my answer.
Is 5...
I told you there
what
are
is
acute
5?
angles.
What is 5 divided by 0?
Well, it would have to be like... Pardon?
What is 5 divided by 0?
5 divided by 0.
Yes.
Who cares? What does it have to do with flat Earth? You tell me what it has to do with flat Earth.
Because if you are to debunk science, then you need to know some basic math. And this is very, very basic math.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this your litmus test?
Yes.
This is your litmus test.
This is the standard litmus test we give flat earthers to test their abilities to actually have some math. All right. So you don't know the first two. We'll ask the third one. All right. So I've got a number. That number is 10 to the negative 17. Is that number a positive or a negative number?
Who cares? What does it have to do with flat Earth? Let's
A
move
lot.
on.
God,
Honestly,
0 for fucking 3, Ferdinand. 0 for 3. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Who cares?
I'm here. You guys,
Listen.
the whole thing is...
But Bud, come on. Hey, Ferdinand, come on, man. But Ferdinand, slow down, man. Hold on. Hold on. I know. Hold on. Let me give out. Let me say what I gotta say there, Ferdinand. Hold on, Ferdinand.
listen,
Ferdinand, hold on. I want you. Hold on,
Flaps, just one
Ferdinand.
sec.
Let me speak for 1 second, okay? I know that you've told Fight and myself that you want to be the new representative of Flat Earth, okay? The one who's out here that's knocking heads around, that's shutting the globe down and whatever, all right? I'll give you that opportunity to be that guy. But the first thing you need to do is find out the fucking answers to those 3 fucking questions, because they're really fucking simple, and you should have known the answers to all 3 of them before you got into 9th grade in high school.
And listen to me, Team Septic. You're trying to shame me because you put me on the spot, and I don't have time to look at your shit and research and whatever.
Dude,
and it has nothing
You don't
to do
know.
with
That's
Flat
the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the
You
thing,
shouldn't
Ferdinand.
have to research
This
these.
is- The answers require no research, Ferdinand.
I don't know what the thing is.
Oh my god.
Right.
So,
So, well
okay,
done.
Ferdinand. Let's
Well-
get on.
Well done on that.
He's
Ferdinand.
breaking me.
That
Let's
was-
move forward.
Let's carry on. So, why don't you just take your 10 minutes and present some positive evidence for the flat Earth? All right. So
Okay.
off you go. You can have 10 minutes uninterrupted. If you need me to put
Okay,
something up on the screen, just let me know.
Okay, so I'll take it away. So anyways, there's supposed to be like an introduction section. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are new on the stream that just heard about the hype. Maybe they heard about a couple other things too. But we're just going to move forward with this, okay? So basically, I'm living in Cancun, Mexico now for 10 years. And I've been on the beach. And one side of my condo is the ocean, and the other side's a lagoon. And it just so happens that I live in the Mayan Riviera, and I'm like best friends with the Mayans. And they're all flat earthers, every one of them that has their cultural roots that didn't grow up in the the new education system, or you can call it the Commonwealth, or whatever, the conquistador. So, anyways, I like to introduce myself as a psychedelic shaman, okay? And so the way I'm looking at this flat Earth versus globe Earth is that I'm here to break this spell, because basically everyone who still believes we're on a globe is under a spell, and a lot of people break it on their own. So I am a shaman. I'm here to break spells, okay? And people like FTFE, they are, even though he doesn't know, that's why he's weak. He's a witch, and he's propagating this spell, this millennial-long spell. Okay? That's right, yeah.
Oh,
And if
which
if
house?
you-
Which
if you
house am I
knew
in?
you were
Am I
rich, you'd be
Hufflepuff?
powerful.
I think I'd be a
you
Ravenclaw,
want-
actually. Yeah, I reckon I'd.
Okay, sure.
Let's say I'm Ravenclaw. Cool.
Hey, Craig, don't tempt me, man. Don't tempt me at name calling, because I'm trying to be good.
Dude, there was no name calling there. You called me a witch, so I'm putting myself in a witch and wizard's house.
Well, the truth hurts at times, when people didn't hear this. I have a different message for the world. So moving on, basically,
You're a wizard, Harry.
what I bring into this argument and debate is basically ancestral knowledge and the access to what can be known or called the spirit world and spirits. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is I'm just going to give you a quick Craig killing arguments here. Okay, so basically the way that Craig's spell is being, the only words is if, right, they have this spell where all water in the world is magically curved for no reason. You can't see or measure it anywhere, but it's always curved, any water that's in the surface, whether it's in any container, and it's in the lake or ocean or any container or in your glass. This is what NASA says that Craig's gonna the kind of stuff that he's gonna shovel out at you, right? Which is complete bullshit. Okay? Everybody knows that water inside a container has the surface, and that's completely flat, right? And so this is the instrument that I couldn't find the other night because I was drunk, by the way, on the full moon. This is the instrument that shows what is flat. So when the air bubble is in the middle of this instrument, which is called a water level.
It's not called a water level.
We'll get into it later, Craig. Okay, just cup your cake hole. All right. So when the bubble is in the middle, this is flat and level. So now you hang your pitcher. You put a little marble on top, and then it won't roll off. Okay, so this is a contained container. It has air in it, which has the surface of water. And when it's in the middle, it's flat. Okay. So what that means is any container that you have with water in it, the surface of this water is flat, just like the instrument says. So the way that we know what flat is with a water level, and we use water to tell us what is flat. We always have, all humans have always done it since the ancient time.
Flat, could you hold up the
And
level
there's
again?
nothing anyone can say. Okay? Moving on along, okay?
Could you just hold up the level again? I just wanted to see something.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of my test in 10 minutes. You're not allowed. You'll have your time when I'm done, okay? So that's two times you've interrupted.
I just wanted to see something with the level. I just wanted to see something, that was all.
Don't interrupt my test, because you kept interrupting my test last time, and then it was at the end, and then
Okay.
SKeptic cut me off right before I could finish it, okay? So I don't even, you're going to let me present, and if it's longer than 10 minutes, you're going to let me finish. Otherwise, I'm going to cancel, and no one's going to get paid for plane noises. Okay? You know what I'm talking about.
We do like the plane
So now that I
noises.
got 55 calls,
I like. Hey, listen. His time is stopped right now. His time is paused right now. Let me tell you, that was classic, bro. Nobody's gonna get paid for plane noises. That was amazing, bro. Okay. So your time can start again. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so anyways, here's the level. Okay, so what Craig's the propagating spell that is making you believe in everyone is that a water level, this instrument does not tell us what flat is. When I'm showing you right now, okay, that this is what flat is. And this is how we know what flat is, when that bubble is in the middle. And this is a scientific method-backed experiment that is observable, measurable, and repeatable. And we're using water to tell us what flat is. And there's no way anyone can refute this experiment that I'm doing right here. We're using the surface of water to see what flat is, right here. That's the instrument, okay? So, when we talk about having water, okay, let's move on here, okay? So, that's the water level, okay? And so, I can't see anymore. What happened?
I've made
still
you big.
going?
Yeah, I put you on the big screen.
Oh, okay. That's what I wanted anyways. Okay, so basically, here's a container. And on the surface of this water, in this container, it's flat. And it always has to be flat. You can see it. Okay, I'll hold it on the angle. You see how the surface of that is staying flat?
It's a nice picture behind you.
Yeah, that's me. So you see how the surface of this water in this container is staying flat, just like in the water level? This is a water level too. You could actually measure with a bottle of water, okay? So let's move on to the next one here. Okay. Yeah. Because I like this one because it's like, you know, you throw, like a fridge crashes on you and you don't get to use any of the parts anymore. Well, here we go. Bam! Okay. This is the somewhat see-through container, and the most see-through one I got. It's kind of big, okay? And as you can see, same kind of thing, right? See how the water acts? You know, it's remaining level as I manipulate it in the container, okay? So this is the nature of the reality that we live in right here. This is the law of water, of any body of standing water, is that it has to be contained, and at the surface of this contained water it has to be flat. And it cannot be anything else at any other time. And if it did, flat Earth would exist. So nobody can find water that does not look the way I just showed you. Not FTFE or Team Septic Tank, or you know, whatever, right? Even though, you know, I like teams. Is it Team Skeptic? I like him, but I mean, you know, I owed you one. Anyway, so exactly, these are laws.
That's cool, but that's cool, man. I don't care, man. That's cool.
Water's level. This is mind-blowing stuff.
I came up with that earlier. So you got some good compliments anyway. So, but basically, all I'm saying is yeah, the reason why I tell you guys that I'm a psychedelic shaman, this is what I do. Shamans do. They don't try to go around telling people, hey, what the fuck is the angle of a triangle? And you know what I mean? Like, that makes water flat. Like, that's just kind of like, to me, or whatever. Like the other day on the Craig goes, tries to tell me that I'm not going to feel, you're not going to feel that in an airplane, all kind of stuff. And it's like, I mean, who are you to tell somebody who wants to feel, man? Okay, we're going to move on. We'll get on with that. But my litmus test so far is that you asking yourself, okay, what I do, guys, okay, was that truth? And did you agree with it? Is it yes or no? Did you see the surface of that water in each container behave like the law of water, which is flat? And so any body of water needs a container, okay? So, okay, for my first argument, and then I'll turn it back over to Craig, and then we'll move to the plane game. And then from there, whatever, the ice is water. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even bring that up. I'm going to destroy you. Okay? So basically...
you got 3 minutes left.
Okay, that's perfect. I only need 2. So can you stop tapping, please? Can you stop? Looks like you're doing a little bit more than that, right?
That's team
someone's
typing.
Oh. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I thought I was muted.
Yeah, that's okay. You can just be a little bit softer on your fingers. It's fine. Okay. Do you moisture? Okay. So basically, the flat Earth litmus test. It's like, so far I brought you guys along, and I'm just showing you what the reality of this world are. That's what shamans do. Okay. You show their psychedelic medicine ceremony. You take the medicine, and then you just have your own experience. And they just like help you along. So that's what I'm doing with all you guys right now. That's why, like, Craig, you guys don't know what you're getting yourselves into, because it's like you don't even realize that you guys are propagating spells and you're under a spell yourself. And then I'm actually a powerful anti-sorcerer. And so that's what's happening here. And so now I'm going to break everyone's spell. Okay. So far you've seen the water level, which is true. You've seen the containments, the different containers, which is true. The surface of that water remained flat even as I manipulated, which is true. And I showed it. It's a scientific method backed. You can saw it with your own eye now. Okay? So the next place I bring you is, okay, well, how about the bathtub? And then let's move on to the swimming pool. Those behave the same. Of course they do. It's the exact same. Now let's quickly conclude here and take you to like a lake. And now all of a sudden, oh, what? That's magical water that behaves different than what I just showed you here? No water can behave different than what I just showed. Snap out of it. It's a spell. Okay? And I'll finalize right now by bringing you guys to the ocean. Okay? There's many days out of the year about, well, not many, but maybe 3 or 4 where the ocean stands still and there's no wind and it's just like glass. No water is moving anywhere. It's still, okay? And so what? That water all of a sudden is magically curving water. What container does it start to be magic in? Okay? You guys got to break the spell. You too, Craig. You guys and all that. Oh, no matter what. Listen, but you know what I'm saying right now. You cannot refute. And a final finish.
Are you done?
Did I stutter?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. All I heard was, did I stutter?
Yeah, so...
You might have cut out right there.
Okay.
You done?
Okay, sorry. Well, then... sorry, did I cut out on you?
So your argument is water is always flat.
At its surface,
Okay, cool.
standing bodies of water, unmanipulated water.
Could you could you hold up that level again for me?
My claim is it's a law that no matter what will never be broken.
Yeah, cool. Hold up that level for me. And show me where the flat water is in that level, where the liquid is flat. Because what I see is curving water around that bubble.
Okay, so here we go. So here we go. This is where he starts with his sorcery. Where
No.
He has to protect.
And here you go. Here's some more water that is not flat when it's in a container because it's got forces acting on it.
Can I answer the question? Can I answer your first question? No, let me ask you the question, dude.
Well, I'm
It's
taking
not
you.
an argument.
I'm taking you through my refutation of what you said about water always being flat. This is also a demonstration of water being flat. Now, both in the level and water that is just standing still, there is forces acting on that water. Do you want to see what water is like when there is no forces acting on it?
No, I'll answer your first question now. And I'm not going to let you ask me two questions and then just keep talking.
Oh, no, this is all the same point. This is all the same point.
It's not. What you're talking about right now is you're talking about a little tiny tube of water that has the meniscus in this little test are touching each other because the tube is so small. Okay, I'm not talking about a little tiny test tube or a thimble or some dead guy 25,000 years ago that is satanic. Okay.
Okay, Satan wasn't even a concept 2,500 years ago. You do realize that?
Oh, you do realize that Satan is ribbons and that the minds carved them into stone here, and they still are all over the place in the art here.
But
so
Satanism was not. Franz, stop. Satanism was not a thing 2,500 years ago. So you cannot say Eratosthenes was a Satanist.
What do you think Satanism was not a thing 2,500 years ago? What do you think started religion?
Satanism was not a thing 2,500 years ago.
Satanism started religion. That's what came out of Babylon, the original bloodlines of the royal families who came out of Babylon.
Yes, but Satanism was not a thing 2,500 years ago. Right, let's move on from that. Now, Flat, stop talking. Flat, stop talking. Flat, I will mute you.
You can't say that.
Flat, stop.
Okay.
Right? Now, the point of me asking you about the bubble and the meniscus is because there is forces being applied. And when the water...
You just lost, I explained it.
You need to be quiet and listen. Okay? So, when there is a meniscus, or if the water is sitting there, it is doing that because there is forces being applied. In the case of water sitting there, the force being applied is gravity. Would you like to see what water is like when there is no forces being applied to it? And I will show you the natural shape of water. Are you paying attention? This is what water looks like when there is no forces being applied to it.
Pull out quickly.
Oh my God! You are really a real piece of work, man. Seriously,
right.
You are
now. As the international, stop talking. Stop.
No, it's my turn to talk.
No, I haven't finished my... All right, I will mute you. All right, I'm just going to mute you when I finish my point. All right, you're muted. Now, this is the International Space Station, which is in free fall.
Calm down, Ferdinand. Calm down, bro.
I'll mute you. You're muted right now. No one can hear you.
Okay, here's the thing. Ferdinand, I can't hear you because he has you muted. Fight can't hear you because he has you muted. The people in the audience can't hear you because he has you muted. So you're really just wasting your time right now. Just give me a second. We'll get back to the conversation, but give me a second, okay? Let's make sure that it goes that Fight gets his whole point out, and then you get your whole point out. If he cuts you off, just say, "Fight, I'm not done yet." That's all you got to do, and he'll shut up and let you keep talking. But let him get through his point. So.
Just let me talk. I'm responding. Okay.
No, I haven't finished my point, so you can't respond. Let me finish my point, then you can
asked
respond.
two questions
Right,
and
okay,
you
I'm muting you again until you stop and actually listen. All right, you let me finish my point. Now, stop talking and listen for 2 minutes while I get my point out. Yeah, no one can hear you. I will unmute you when you stop talking. Okay, there we go. Right, so on the International Space Station, there is no gravitational acceleration because the station is in freefall, meaning that there is no gravitational force being applied to water. And this is what happens to water when there is no gravitational force being applied to it. It naturally forms a sphere because that is the most energy efficient shape to be. The natural shape of water is a sphere. If there are forces applied to water, then it will be a different shape. In the case of Earth, the force being applied to water is gravity. And that is the gravity is not fake. We'll get to that, but this, all of these things, and even that wave behind you, refute your notion of water always being flat. Okay, now you can respond.
No, it doesn't. Okay, can you tell me the first question in, because I forgot already. Because one question, and then ask the second question, then go on a lecture.
No, this is only one question. The one question.
I'm just saying, don't act like that, because that's what we do. You're trying to manipulate me and confuse me, and I will expose you.
I was asking you one question, dude. You need to.
No,
right.
You're doing it again.
The thing is, you never shut up and listen like all flat earthers. If you do that, then maybe we can have a proper conversation. All right.
You're doing it again.
Now, the question I will ask it again so that you can answer. Why is that water, when there is no forces being applied to it, a sphere?
That was the first question you asked me?
That is the whole question. That was the entire point. If you would just shut up and listen for 2 minutes, I could have got that out in one go.
No, because what you did was ask me a bunch of questions and then went on a lecture.
Right, can you get on with, can you just answer my question now?
Stop interrupting me and arguing me. What I'm going to do right now is just...
Yeah, I've asked you a question, now you can answer.
No, you asked me one question at a time.
Yeah, and I asked you one question. Oh my god. The only question I was asking, right? The entire thing was 1 point, Franz, all right? The entire thing was 1 point and one question. I was making the point about there's forces being applied with meniscus, etc. And my point about the water on the International Space Station is this is the natural shape of water when there is no forces being applied to it. So why is this water a sphere when there is no forces applied to it? That is the question.
The water in the skies has like some kind of object in it? You're calling that a sphere? Okay. You want me to answer this? Seriously.
Yeah, that was the question. Look, I'll keep it plain. Okay. So look, there you go, nice sphere, undisturbed.
Okay, listen, I'll tell everyone right now, and this is the truth, and you guys got to snap out of it, okay? The International Space Station does not exist. There are no men flying 17,000 kilometers per hour on Earth. This is all a hoax. NASA
okay, that wasn't my question.
I'm about to get there, okay?
Whether you believe the International Space Station or not wasn't my question. My question is, why is this water a sphere?
Excuse me, I'm asking a question. Stop being confusing everybody. I was about to finish. Every time he does that, people know that he's using sorcery against you.
Yes, all the sorcery guys.
Okay, then just leave. Let me finish it. You don't know when I'm about to finish. You think, oh, I'm up it and I'm about to finish my sentence and you interrupt.
Just address the point then. The question,
okay, well then, you know what?
The question was asked, you can answer the question.
You're an arguing bitch. So I don't want to have to get dirty with you, okay? So you have to finish my sentence, okay? You know what? I got a lot more details too, and I more to say. So you just got to give me a little bit more time, be a little bit more patience. That's all I'm asking, okay? You want to make the plane noises? Then just come on. Let me finish, okay? This is my honest. This is flat Earth, okay? But what you're showing people on the space station, this is the whole hoax. This is green screen hoax, fake technology, okay?
Got any evidence of that?
If you take a good look, listen, if you take a good look at the water really close, does it look like real water
Yes.
No, it doesn't. It's completely fake. And basically, you actually took about 20 minutes and went through the NASA is fake videos, and you will all see, that it's all one big hoax, okay? So they say that the International Space Station is 17,000 kilometers per hour orbiting the Earth.
Yeah, I know someone who's proved
But then,
that.
like, the fastest, the fastest airplane, spy plane, or whatever
It's
jet,
in space,
it
not
goes,
in.
like,
It's
goes
not.
Mach something, it goes 700
Dude.
an hour, okay?
Yeah,
And
dude,
as soon
right.
as they just go a little bit, shut up, I'm almost finished. Let me
Okay.
finish my point, bitch.
Just get
Okay,
to
I
it.
don't wanna have to-
You've been rambling for like 5 minutes.
I will be the one that lays the smackdown.
Of course you will. Get on with it and
you
get
can
to
be
your
sure
point.
of-
I mean, this is the
Sure
entire
of
notes
for
I've got
sure
at the
for
moment.
sure.
Like, it's.
Sure to be careful here. You know what else I'm gonna be? I got the PMF title, okay? All right. So don't make me bring it out and smack it on you. So what I'm just saying
Can you
is
just
my
get
answer
to your
is,
point?
it's a fake clip in the water. It's fake. Doesn't even look real at all.
Do you
And
have
then
evidence of
the fact
that?
you won't. Yes, I just told you. Anyone can go on YouTube. And pull
No,
up
telling
NASA
us to
is
go on
fake.
YouTube isn't
Go on-
evidence.
Go on ODT reality. No, because you know what? I don't need to go by your rules. Okay. I
Yes,
am
you
my
do.
own. And I'm here to break. I'm here to break the spell. Okay. I just gave you the evidence of water is flat.
And
everything.
then
And
I
you know what?
refuted it. This water isn't flat.
Listen,
You
let
were
me
wrong.
explain to you. No, you're showing a ball of water that doesn't exist somewhere
Evidence.
that doesn't exist.
Then you need to
And you're
give me
saying-
evidence that it doesn't exist, because I have
You're
evidence that
saying
the.
that the ocean- You're saying
Right,
the ocean
flat,
is flat?
stop a second. I have evidence that the International Space Station is real. Do you have evidence that it's not?
What I just spoke to everyone to do, that is their homework.
No.
okay? Because if
I want your evidence.
Well,
If
you
you
know
say
what?
something, I expect you to back it up.
Basically, we're having a debate about if the Earth is flat or not if the space station is real. I shared everyone, and I was everyone else can go and do it. Okay? And that's the evidence, okay? Scientific method-backed evidence is for everybody to go and do research and pull up the NASA's fake videos. Okay?
Yeah, I've debunked
Go
all of
ODD
them.
Yeah, go to ODD
Hey, that's funny
Listen,
because
listen.
I actually did a video specifically debunking ODD's NASA videos, so I've already done that. Right, let's flat. I'm gonna ask you to stop talking for a couple of minutes while I show you some evidence that the International Space Station is in fact real. Okay? Now pay attention for 2 minutes.
This is not a debate about if the space station is real. Okay, I'm not going to respond to this.
It helps my.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
All right,
No,
now
okay,
it helps my point. Now I am going to give you evidence that the international. Right, Franz, I'm gonna have to mute you again. Right, Franz, I've muted you again because you're not listening. I am going to refute your claim that the International Space Station is not real. Now I'm going to ask you to stay quiet for a couple of minutes and listen to the evidence. No, you're still rambling. Right, you're muted again until you stop talking. You're going to learn how conversations work. You're muted, Franz. No one can hear you. No one can even see you right now. He's just rambling away to himself. Right. When you stop talking...
I just want to ask a question. How is it possible that I can sit here and be so quiet and calm and listen to you guys talk, but he fucking can't? Come on, Ferdinand.
Right.
Shut the fuck up, man. Sit there and wait, and you'll get your moment to talk, bro.
I'm going to ask you to be quiet for a couple of minutes.
It's not my fault. This motherfucker is the arguing talker over. I don't interrupt people. That's him.
You've constantly interrupted me so far. Now, I'm going to ask you again to be quiet for...
I'm standing up. I'm not letting you fuck me up.
I'm going to ask you again to be quiet for 2 minutes. I'm going to ask you again... Shut up. I'm going to ask you to be quiet for 2 minutes so I can show you evidence the International Space Station is real. Now, 2 minutes starts now. Now shush. All right?
Don't interrupt me anymore. Otherwise, I'll beware.
Otherwise what? You rage quit? That's cool. We've got something for that. Never mind. Right, so... My good friend Red's Rhetoric and his good friend Astronomy Live both measured the distance to the International Space Station. The way they did this was by being 1 kilometer apart during a transit of the International Space Station over the moon. Okay? If you can see this...
That's fake.
No, this isn't fake. I know the person that took this. Okay? In fact, the two people that took this.
Sorry.
Now, you need to be quiet and listen. Okay, so on the left is Red's Rhetoric's observation of the International Space Station going over the moon. On the right is Astronomy Live's observations of the International Space Station going over the moon. Now, based on the distance between these and the distance that they were from each other when they took these pictures, they were able to do some very, very basic trigonometry and not only calculate the distance to the International Space Station, but the speed that the International Space Station was going. And based purely on these photographs that they got, nothing else, no information from anywhere else. The only information they used was the photographs, the observations that both of them took. They then used those observations and nothing else to calculate the distance to and the speed the International Space Station was going. You're interrupting me. You need to be quiet. Okay? So again, this is Red's Rhetorics and Astronomy Live's observations of the International Space Station transiting the moon. Based on the distance between them and the distance that they were apart when they took those, they calculated the distance to and the speed the International Space Station was going, and they got the accepted figures. So that is complete empirical evidence that the International Space Station is in fact in space, traveling at 17,000
I want to add something
per
too.
hour.
I want to add something to that too. Now, when we asked you the flat Earth litmus test, there was a reason for that, Franz, okay? Or Ferdinand, I'm sorry. There was a reason for that because, and while you might have thought we were poking fun of you or anything like this, for you to prove us wrong, you need to know at least basic trigonometry, which means you need to understand the angles, the interior angles of a triangle. That's what it's all about. That's why we asked the question, is so that we can get where you are.
So you don't have to change like that. I don't agree with that. That's how science works. You people that know less than you guys, you make it look like you're smart and they have to listen to whatever you say. And before you get to this step, swallow this pill. And before you get to this ranking, you have to take these vaccines. And that's not the way it works in the world when you're talking.
But that's not what we're saying, Franz. But Franz, listen, that's not what we're saying. No, but that's not what. But listen, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying, Franz, is when we ask you about the triangle, the purpose of asking you about the triangle is to gauge where you are in basic education. If you don't know the internal, but Franz, hold on one second. Yeah, you answered it with I don't care, or it doesn't matter, but it does matter because we're putting you in a position where it actually fucking matters right now. And again, your answer earlier was I don't care. That doesn't make any. It's irrelevant, which it's not. It's fucking highly relevant.
Right. So my point here, well, I'm just going to reiterate. I would like you to actually respond to the question, so I'm just going to reiterate.
Yeah, let him respond.
Will you shut the fuck up and play the game by the rules?
Yeah, the rule is I ask the question and then you answer it because I haven't actually asked the question yet. Okay? So based on this,
okay, fuck you then. If I can't respond to the team. And I'm not continuing. You can't just come on.
You want to read empirical evidence of the distance and the speed of the International Space Station, showing that the International Space Station is in fact a real thing, validating this observation of water being a sphere in the space station. That debunks your claim of water being flat. How do you respond to that? I'm now going to unmute you.
Okay, so I'm going to respond to what Team SKeptic just said, where he's talking about there's a reason why we give you this litmus test at the beginning to ask you what do the combined angles of when they're 1, 1, 1 act. And if you don't know, like if you've never rememorized this or if you've never taken it, then it's going to, you're on this level of trigonometry. And you know what? Like, no, it has nothing to do with that. Maybe some people are, some people aren't. Basically, that is sorcery. They're doing sorcery, and that's why I didn't do the test, because I'm here to smash the test and tell the people that nothing that they can say is going to change because of water from bending. Okay? So, Craig, please continue. Next time.
I mean, I've asked my question about 10 times. The fact is, you don't shut up to listen to the questions. So I will ask the question once more. I will ask the
shit from nobody.
I will reiterate my point and my question once more. Please pay attention.
Okay.
Based on the empirical evidence that is presented that confirms not only the distance to, but the speed the International Space Station is traveling, and this is nothing done by NASA or anything. This is actually done with a fucking P900, okay? The flat earther camera of choice, right? And so based on this empirical evidence that confirms the speed and distance to the International Space Station, thus validating this observation inside the International Space Station, that debunks your claim of water always being flat. How do you respond?
Validating. Okay. Like, you know, what you're talking about as empirical evidence, basically you're holding up a photo with like a bunch of gray blurred out spaceship, not verified. You can find the name or the label or the manufacturer of that ship. There's not one photo ever made of the ISS being made, and there is no close-up of it. Okay, so can you show us a close-up of the ISS then? Can you show us a close-up of the outside of it?
Yes, lots.
Of it being made. And you can't. No, you can't.
I mean, it's literally all over.
Show it to us. Show us what it looks like, because I want to show everyone how fake it is.
I mean, there's an entire documentary about building it. I'll pop the documentary into the chat so anyone can look at it. All right, but okay, good. So regardless, right now, Franz, the point is, regardless of what you think, the fact is that this empirical evidence disputes that.
Okay.
This empirical evidence.
Okay, let me respond to it. Let's talk about it being empirical evidence.
Do you know why it's empirical evidence? Because it was observed by two people individually, and they put it together to calculate this. And this isn't anyone that works for the government or NASA or anything. This is just two guys on YouTube that we know personally. Red Rhetoric and Astronomy Live. So, and also, you know, Jeranism has also recorded a transit of the moon by the ISS, and he saw exactly the same thing. So the photos and everything aren't fake, and so that makes this empirical evidence.
Okay, so what we're actually looking at is a fake ISS, and it's just it's high up in the atmosphere, above the stratosphere, which we're going to talk about next. It's actually at the top, very top of the stratosphere is where spy planes and weather balloons and actually what are known as satellites, real satellites. That's where they are. Okay, they're all the way up in the top of the stratosphere.
Okay, you missed my point about this.
I'm not finished talking. No, you missed my point. You're not letting me finish, so I can't make my point. So stop doing that, you damn wit. Stop it.
Ooh.
You're not allowed to tell me.
I'm a wizard, Harry.
And I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah,
You're not allowed to tell me.
You haven't addressed my point. This observation
but you know
shows...
what? You got fucking cut off in the middle of my paragraph. Stop doing that.
This observation shows that the International Space Station is traveling
Calm down, guys.
17,000
Calm down,
miles
guys. Hey, calm down, guys. Guys. Friends, calm down. Calm down for a second. I don't have the mute button today. I don't have the mute button today, so but Franz, listen, I am on a slight delay. All I can say is that both of you guys should let the other one finish completely. Okay, if you let the other one finish completely, then you can understand the other. Well, hold on. But Franz, hold on. Franz, 1 second, Franz. Hold on. I want to give you an example. I thought it was Franz. I thought it was Franz.
Yeah, it is, but I didn't tell you can call me by my real name. I told you to call me by...
Actually, let me tell you something, Ferdinand, listen, I didn't know Franz was your first fucking name. Listen, I didn't know it was your real first name. I was fucking with you the entire time. Listen, I didn't know it was your real fucking first name. I was fucking with you the whole time. You know, Franz Ferdinand, like the explorer, I think it was, or whatever in history. That's why I'm fucking with you, okay? I do it to everybody. Just ask Harold. Just ask, what was it, Harold or Howard? One of those two. Ask one of those guys.
We called him Harold.
Yeah, just ask Harold. He knows what time it is. If that was your real name, that was completely coincidental and it was not intentional.
Okay, fine, I can accept that, but I'm being hard on you because you're not standing up for me and you're letting your dog bark when he's not supposed to.
You're not addressing my point.
Well, I think it's, listen, guys, I'll say it like this. It's going both ways. When he brought up, hold on, Ferdinand, hold on. Listen to me. When he brought up the fact that it was empirical evidence, he didn't even get through the whole thing before you said, how is that empirical? You cut him off in the middle of him presenting something. He's done the same to you. Here's what I would like. As a passive moderator, because I don't have access to the mute button, here's what I would like. I would like one of you guys to pick up right now. Ferdinand, we'll turn it over to you, Ferdinand. Hold on, listen, you're not even letting me finish at this point. We'll turn it over to you. Listen, we'll turn it over to you. You'll start. But here's what I want both of you guys to do. Fight. Let him get completely through.
Yeah.
Ferdinand, listen, stop cutting me off, please. Fight. Let him get completely through a point.
Roger.
Ferdinand, only make 1 point. Don't make a list of points. Just make one and then stop. When you stop, fight will start. But Ferdinand, when he starts and he starts answering you, even if you don't agree with his answer, just let him finish and then address what he said. But you can't, just don't cut him off.
Stop trying to accuse me. That's what he's doing, okay?
Will you just get on with it?
I'm not. I told Fight the same fucking thing. I told him to let you finish, and I'm telling you to let him finish. Just let him finish. All right, look. Ferdinand, come on. Calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down. Okay, that's fine. Fight.
Yeah.
Fight. Hey, Ferdinand, hush. Fight. Let him fucking finish, all right?
Yeah.
There you go, Ferdinand. If he doesn't, I'll say, let him finish, Fight. I'll say that, all right?
Okay, and let it be known, okay, from now on, the agreement, okay, like, if you're gonna abuse me anymore, Craig,
Just start. Just go.
Okay, so where were we?
Would you like to reiterate my question?
Okay, so what you're saying, what's Craig saying, FTFE, okay?
Right.
He's saying that no matter what, that this, we're talking about how his photo of his two friends, or the people, different people, they didn't know each other, and no matter what, this is scientific method-backed evidence, okay? But really what we're looking at is cartoons, okay? Right now, this, okay, like, sure, this math, and to like, how do we know that this is not a cartoon? Let's say that it's not a cartoon, this is real photos. Let's say that, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and say that because there's things up in the sky that move around the sky, and people think, oh, look, it must be the International Space Station. It's just a dot of light in the sky that transits, okay? And every once in a while, people see something up in the sky that looks like what they say is International Space Station, okay? But let me ask you guys this. You look up and you see, oh, this is the International Space Station, and they're taking photos of this, and what is it? Okay, is this 0 seconds? That's going, we're taking a photo of this thing going 17,000 miles per hour. Okay, first of all, like, that's impossible. You know, you're not taking a photo from standing motion of something going 17,000 miles per hour. So right there, that debunks, right, move on to the next debunking. The next debunking, okay, 1. 2, okay, you have, like, even if this is real photos, like I said, there's no way of verifying that this is the International Space Station because the only thing we have to see it, okay, is these photos where we cannot actually verify the ship, okay? From me here, that looks like our spaceship to me, man. Okay, seriously, that and it looks like they're mocking us. Honestly, like, and so this is what I'm here to expose you and your you know, like, basically it really is fake sorcery because you're a fake sorcerer. You don't even know what you're doing.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
All right.
So this was
Ferdinand, can I?
Because of that, I almost finished my point. Let me finish.
Yeah,
Let me finish my point.
You've been
all right, go ahead.
Let's just if somebody was like ready to interject and they want you to finish up, just be like, okay, and then the guys will conclude up quick. So.
Well, I thought you were done with a point. I was going to say, I thought you were done with that point. I was going to tell Fight to answer it, but go ahead and finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you guys, when you're even doing these little things and you're doing it again, and I lose my track of thought, and that's a way of you guys are, it's not being fair and stuff, right? So what I'm saying is there's no way of verifying the ship. Like, we can't zoom in from here, photo, we can't go, okay, we'll zoom in a little bit more, like you can zoom in on a boat over the curve of the ocean, and verify where it says NASA and the United States or in Russia and all that stuff. The only thing we have to verify is the photos that's from us, right? So even if Darren took a picture of this and that, well, what they say is up there is not the International Space Station. It's a spy plane that just keeps on going forever. And they say that's like sometimes they take pictures of it and call it the space station, okay? And then there's like, how can you not?
Okay, stop. You've already you have to be done with the point, man. You can't continue to, you can't make one point for 10 minutes. Lee, he needs to, all right, fight. Thank you for stopping. You were about to continue to talk. I stopped you in the middle of talking because you were about to continue on. Go ahead, Fight, address that point.
Right. So.
That's an outstep. You're not allowed to get pissed off here. Only I am.
Yeah,
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Now you be quiet for 5 minutes and let me talk, okay? So.
You can just say, okay, you're done.
Yeah, Flat, will you shut the fuck up?
Well, then tell him to fuck up.
Just be quiet now, all right? You rambled for 5 minutes and now it's my turn. So you completely...
Rambled for 5 minutes?
Dude, stop him. I didn't interrupt you.
Just mute him. Right, mute him and get the point and then unmute him.
Right. So you completely ignored the point of what I was saying. Based on these observations and these observations alone, nothing else, they were able to calculate that the International Space Station was 408 kilometers up, traveling at 17,000 kilometers an hour. And the fact that they did that based on their own observations and it matched with what the International Space Station says it is doing is empirical evidence that matches reality. And it's not just random. There is many sites that you can actually use to track the position of the International Space Station and when it is going to transit in front of the moon. And that's what they did. They knew when the ISS was going to transit in front of the moon. They set themselves up 1 kilometer apart. And both, this isn't photos, this was filmed, right? And then this is the stills from that video of the ISS transiting over the moon from their own positions, which were 1 kilometer apart. Now, when you do the math based on their positions and the observations they got, you get the position and height of the International Space Station. And it says that it is traveling at 17,000 kilometers an hour at 408 kilometers in altitude. That is impossible for a plane to be traveling at 17,000 kilometers an hour because planes would break up into pieces. And also planes cannot fly that high because there is not enough of the atmosphere. So this observation shows the position and speed of the International Space Station, and it matches what we are told. So you are wrong about your assertion. Now I'm going to unmute you and you can respond to that.
Yeah, and don't interrupt him until he gets done responding.
Yeah.
Ferdinand, it's on you.
Okay, guys. So I mean, basically, what FTFE is saying here is that he's just not doing any background check on any of the information, and he's just like taking it all 100% as truth. Okay, and so when I said, okay, let's do what Craig's doing. Hey, follow with me here, Craig. Okay. I said, oh, let's do what Craig's doing and follow him. Okay, it's up there. That's the International Space Station. 17,000 kilometers per hour. It's flying up there. Okay, and that's it. And they're measuring, and they took a photo, and he said, you know what? And the math all works out. You can go like in that, and I said, okay, well, where's the math and the formula? And he doesn't have it. He's just basically, this is the spell. He's just telling you something, and it's all based on. See, look, do you see how this horizon dropped where it says distance and bulk. Thank you for pulling that up. Thank you. I was wondering, can you go back to that one, please? Thank you. Oh, back to the math chart. Okay. Okay, so here's his math, okay? So eye level, surface level, this horizon dip, the bulge distance, and then you see this drop and hidden. None of this exists here. This is all scientism, okay? Satanic science, okay? This is what it is. It's hoax.
You
So
finished?
I can't take any seriously. All of these numbers are all bogus, okay? Because if you actually look into when I'm talking about the claim of who the science people were that came up with this math, people, if you actually, like some of you that will go and research this, check out who those people were. And that's exactly what it was, right? So, yeah, I'm finished.
Okay, so why does the math from observations from two random guys match what we are told?
Because they're globe heads.
But they just did. They weren't assuming anything. They simply did the math, and it worked out. Why is that?
Because there's something up in the sky.
Traveling 17,000 kilometers an hour, according to the math.
Doesn't matter. Okay, listen. No, there's that is bogus. That is bullshit.
Evidence of that,
No,
please.
okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the 17,000. You want to talk about 17,000 mile per hour? Sure, let's talk about it. Okay. So, the fastest aircraft that can go possible is like stealth bomber jet, or it's just like the flat stealth bomber, and it only goes like Mach 2.4 or something. And if it goes like a couple 500 kilometers more, then the panels start falling off of it. Okay, and that's just going Mach 2.5 or something.
Yep.
Okay, and what? Let me finish.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying yeah.
No, you know what? Everyone notice.
Just let him finish. Just let him finish. Go ahead, Ferdinand. Ferdinand, go. Just don't interrupt him, please. Flat fight.
I wasn't.
It's like as soon as I start.
I know. Just don't even say anything. Ferdinand. I'm trying to. Hey, Ferdinand. Hey, look, Ferdinand. Your ranting is now taking longer than his interruptions. I have already corrected him. If you'll just please continue.
I told you that's the punishment for you guys not behaving. Okay, there's a punishment. Okay, there's consequences. You're giving me my time, I'm giving you yours. We should be respecting each other and not like being unfair. Like Craig is doing.
Okay.
Craig, honestly, don't worry about you. I'm used to it.
Yep, sure.
Okay. Trying to be nice. Let's get to it.
We don't need a morality lesson at this point. Can you just please get on with your empirical evidence, please?
Well, unfortunately, like I said, I'm a psychedelic. This is how I break the spells, and you guys are sorceresses. Okay, literally, like, which means the female version.
Sorcerers.
Yeah.
Sorcerers.
Okay, continue. What I'm saying is, maybe if there's a light up in the sky that they're measuring. Okay, well, they're both measuring a light up in the sky from the Earth. The Earth is flat. Okay, one guy thinks it's round, or maybe they both, or whatever. Jared, who knows, whatever. But the Earth is flat, both the same thing, because there's a fake International Space Station up there. People say, oh, look, it's there. But it's like, it doesn't have to be like, you're thinking there's 16 people up there traveling 17,000 miles an hour, and that is just a hoax.
All right, have you finished?
That's my view on that, right? So basically, what I'm saying,
okay, God, he's still going.
Look, let me
Oh, God.
Right, now you need to
the
shush.
math is...
No,
Excuse me, I finished the point. Shush when
You
I'm
are
about to
literally
finish.
rambling constantly. You see how I'm
Shall I
short and
conclude?
concise?
You just asked me to conclude. So conclude with the math is that this is scientism, globe science math, which is all. So you don't know what part of it is fake and real and controlled opposition. And he's just saying, hey, you know what? These photos are taken by my friends. And there's a light in the sky, so no matter what, it's true. But you know what? If you research it, it's all bullshit. That's what I'm saying. It's my vote. Your math is satanic.
Right, cool. So trigonometry is satanic.
All
Got it. Right. Now.
Global.
You're
global globe head. Global trigonometry. Yeah.
You're
a globe head. Yeah.
You finished? Yeah.
Yeah, he's finished. Go ahead.
Cool. Right. So the problem with what you're saying is that spy planes aren't in space. They have the atmosphere to deal with. The International Space Station does not have any friction in the atmosphere because it's not in the atmosphere. So it's traveling at 17,000 kilometers an hour. And this is observations that were carried out from the ground and based on purely the positions of where they were and what they observed. They figured out that, well, based on what we've seen, that would mean that it's this distance away and traveling at this speed. It's empirical evidence. Okay. So you haven't disputed that just by saying math is satanic. Okay. Because I can guarantee you trigonometry is not satanic.
What were you saying about the spy planes?
Spy planes aren't in space. They use the atmosphere to fly. The ISS is in space. It has no atmosphere, which causes friction. Therefore, it can go as fast as it wants.
Okay, so can you see my screen behind me?
Let me just get you bigger. 1 sec. Yeah.
You guys can see that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what Craig here is doing another witchy kind of move here. Just trying to do is blur the lines between our atmosphere and what he can tell you and what you're allowed to know. Okay. So basically, right down here, this is the first level is the troposphere. Okay. And at the top of Mount Everest is at the top of the troposphere at the tropopause where it begins, and this is where the commercial flight occurs. Now, the stratosphere goes all the way up 50 kilometers, okay, which totally negates what he just said, okay? So, well, spy planes and weather balloons, you see what, here's a spy plane, it's in the stratosphere. So what I'm already catching him, he's saying that the spy planes are in our atmosphere, and we're already up past, the troposphere and into the stratosphere. Now, let's look at another one here. Okay, so the stratosphere, okay, this is, you see the rockets. And this is where rockets and spy planes go, okay, into the stratosphere. And he's trying to tell us that they're only in the atmosphere. So just continue.
Okay, so what was that you said? 50 kilometers up?
50 kilometers up.
Yeah, cool. The space station is 408 kilometers up.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So basically, what everyone's seeing is a spy plane, in the upper stratosphere. That's just every once in a while. They probably don't even
says that that's not the case.
Right. Okay. Well, just let me finish my point. So what I'm saying is what Craig's saying. They give these numbers. They say, oh, it's 400 kilometers away, and it's not. Okay. It's whatever they're seeing up there, the light. Okay, it's not as big as they're saying it is, and there's nobody up there. It's just a continuous spy plane, and it's probably on technology that we don't have. It's probably on just continuous.
Oh, magic technology,
cool. Motion technology. Yeah, magic technology. Yeah, well, you can just have a solar. They already have solar planes that fly forever. So yeah, it's called secret technology. Okay, and if you ever look into it, then right. What I'm saying is that for Craig, it's just take it on a whim that it's 400K up there and you have no verification photo except for this one, which looks like this is a photo, and you can't zoom in on it to see the ship. There's no way of zooming in to see the ship, the panels. You cannot verify this ship from here. Anyone could say that this is any ship in the world.
Hold on.
Okay? So why should we take, I'm almost finished. Why should we take Craig's why should we take his word for it? Because these are his friends and NASA. Okay? Well, that's a good start, but it's time to do our own research and continue on from there because it's just not real. And what these photos are is literally a spy plane that's supposed to that looks like that. So they can say what's transiting here, and people can go and they can take a photo that can only zoom in on it so much like this, and no more because the Z from the P900, you can only zoom in on it this far. Okay? Not to mention, look how close the moon looks. Okay? You can see not only craters, but land masses.
All right, you've gone on to a different point now, so I'm going to stop you.
Okay.
This is another observation of the ISS by Astronomy Live with a much more powerful... This is another astronomy.
Okay.
This is another observation of the ISS by Astronomy Live.
Unverifiable photo.
Will you shut the fuck up, you moron?
Fred,
Yes,
please
alright.
don't talk over him,
Okay.
Fred, please.
Cheers, Fred.
Okay, I'm glad
Right.
you showed your backbone, okay?
All right, Fred.
Let's be respectful.
Fred, shush your mouth now. Good boy. Right, so.
Fred.
All right, Fred, no worries. Cool, Fred, no worries.
You know what? You guys can call me Franz also. I am Franz Ferdinand, and my real
no
name
worries,
is
Fred.
I just-
We'll call you that, no worries.
Don't
So,
worry about it. I was just being.
so
nervous. Just continue.
if I can talk without you flapping
It's
your
all
gums
good,
for a
Fred.
second. Right? This is another observation of the ISS by Astronomy Live using some much better equipment. And they managed to do this. Stop opening your mouth. Just keep it shut. This was extremely zoomed in, and they did this actually live, and this is the stabilized version of it. So they actually did this live whilst it was overhead, and they tracked it. Now, what you can see is the panels on the aircraft on the space station. Sorry, you can quite clearly see the panels and the shape of it. There is no way that this could be a plane based on the shape of it. That is not aerodynamic in the slightest. It is not a plane. And the other thing that you can actually see from this observation is that as it goes overhead, it shifts in angle that you can view it of. So if you look at it over here, it's a bit more straight on. But as it went overhead, you can see that it got a bit skewed because it is going above them over the curve. And then as it goes off into the distance, it looks more and more on its side. So another observation that actually matches the particular details that we are told about the ISS. Now, there is no way in hell this is any kind of spy plane, because that would not fly.
Okay, so this is not the same. Can I talk now? Or
Yeah?
we're being nice, right? Okay,
Yeah.
you finished? All right. Okay, so like, I mean, honestly, like, I can see where your line of thought has brought you here, because that's like before you get unplugged to flat Earth, and you're going down and you're looking. It's like you're having faith in all these photos.
No, this was
Okay.
live. I watched this live.
Well, that's what they're telling you. Well, they're saying that that this is in space, right? But it's not. It's in a swim. Okay, and so this is Hollywood movie like camera magic. Okay.
No, again,
the
this
whole
was
Stanley Kubrick.
this was done
Excuse
live.
me, I'm thinking. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's. I know that. I know.
Like-
Yes, this was a live bullshit video. Yes, thank you.
No.
Thank you for pointing that
Astronomy
out.
Live is just a
You're
normal
saying-
dude, right? He used the ISS tracker, and he used the, all right. He used the ISS tracker.
Fred, let him answer, please.
Right, so Astronomy Live and Red's Rhetoric used the ISS tracker to see where it should be in the sky, pointed a really good camera at that position in the sky, and filmed it. They did this live. Team, you even watched it, right?
I don't know if I caught that one live.
There's many people that watched it.
We gotta
Right,
take
so
your word for it.
what happened was Astronomy Live started a live stream and actually showed people live the images from his camera tracking this. So it wasn't any fakery, because it is someone that we know personally that did this live, and we all watched that stream. Okay? There's many people in the chat right now saying they watched it live, and then they took the footage from it and stabilized it. So you are wrong about that. Yeah, I would like you to address the point that this clearly shows the fact that it's not a plane, and it's not Hollywood magic because it was done live by just a normal guy on YouTube.
Okay, so here's the thing. It's like they want us to be forced into thinking that this is the only reality. The only option for our reality is that this is real, right? And so that's what FTFE is doing here. Okay, fight the flat Earth. Okay, you asked me if you want to like fight the flat butthead, right? But, that's great for you.
Cool, shovel face, no worries.
Because like because Craig is a butthead.
Cool story, bro.
He believes in this he goes through this path of thinking. So but what he's saying is, okay, no matter what, this is real. Like, that can't be a hoax or a fake. No matter what, that can't be like a blimp in the sky that looks like that in the middle of the night, because they got to do it every once in a while to bring it out and travel and just tell people, oh, it's going 17,000 miles an hour. Like, when this happened and they're videotaping this for whatever it is, okay, number one, there's no stars in the sky, which is suspicious, and number two, there's no way it's going 17,000 miles per hour, okay?
Except
so
the map
basically,
shows
what they're saying is, okay, if it's orbiting at 17,000 miles an hour, that means that whatever's up there in the sky, which is not traveling that fast, that's for sure. Okay, maybe there's something up there, but it ain't no man that's up there. It's not traveling that fast. Because if it was going 17,000 miles an hour, that means you subtract the fake 1,000-mile-an-hour spin. We still have 700 kilometers an hour faster. This fake space station is traveling. So you're basically taking picture with the overhead math. You're taking a picture of an object flying in the sky going 700 kilometers an hour, and you can't verify the panels on it or the names or the manufacturer or anything. And so these are questions that you have to look into that Craig doesn't want to look into. And that's what I mean, Craig, and just kind of like Globies, that's the whole thing. You won't look into it.
We have looked into it. That's the thing. We all have. I'm going to stop you. You can see the paneling literally there. You can literally see the paneling there. That's zoomed in as much as it can be. Now,
dude, that looks like the antenna at Denny's. That looks like the Denny's fucking radio station.
He filmed that in the sky, so he filmed that, and there is no way that could fly. It's not aerodynamic. All right? That is not something that could fly in the atmosphere.
Let him talk, Frank. Let him finish, and then you can have your say.
All right, Philip. So the thing is, this is not something that could fly in the atmosphere. It's not aerodynamic. You can quite clearly see the panels, and again, when you do the math, it matches what we are told. You are just denying empirical observations and calling them fake.
Let's talk about that. What about the 700-kilometer difference?
Sorry?
The 700-kilometer difference. Like, I made it halfway to you. I say, okay, let's do the globe science, where we're spinning on the globe 1,000 kilometers an hour. We're standing on it with the camera, and we're looking up at the fake, let's call it a space station, okay? And it's going 17,000 kilometers an hour. We're going 1,000, so that means the space station
what
is
do you mean we're going 1,000?
Kilometers. The Earth is the globe is spinning 1,000 kilometers an hour.
No, it's not. No. The globe is spinning at 0.00002 RPM.
Okay, well, I'm saying, from like mainstream flat Earth, what's out there, what I'm referring to is
they're wrong.
That it's spinning. And, okay, well, this is just my reference point, and this is what everyone else's reference point is. And this is what, like, if you Google it, that's what it's going to say, right? So I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe you have some deep stuff that you want to explain.
Hey,
Fine.
Flat. I'm gonna do something for you. Right? There's
I'm referencing. It's going 1,000 miles an hour, and where is your 700? You're saying that no problem. We're going to take a picture of something going 700.
The Earth isn't spinning at 1,000 RPM. The Earth isn't spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. That's just wrong. Right now, Flat. What I'm going to do for you, Flat. Philip.
It's going 700 kilometers faster than you, and you took a picture of this.
Hands. All right. Can you stop for a second? I'm going to actually get the guy in that was involved in this observations. I'm just about to send Red's Rhetoric a link to join, okay?
I think let's move on to Flat Earth, okay?
Oh, no. We're going to get the
Frank. Hold on. Guys, hold on. Listen. Guys, listen. Listen, Frank. Hey, Frenchie, check it out. I'm gonna let him get his person in here because that way you can hold on, dude. Listen. No problem, Frank. Listen, if you just he can validate or invalidate anything you're saying. That's what we're bringing him on for, not to team up on you or anything. He's the one that made the observation. Now, while he gets in here, I want to ask you another. I'm going to reword the question so it's not so mathematically hard, okay? The triangle question, all right? So if you have a triangle that has 180 degrees on the inside of the triangle, and it's an equilateral triangle with sides 1, 1, and 1, what are the internal angle values? And you can list them off in any way you would like. You can start off with the smallest one. You can start off with the largest one. It really doesn't matter. Just list all three of them and I'll call it a day.
Okay, what's the question again?
Oh my God.
If you have an, you have an equilateral triangle that has internal angles that add up to 180 degrees with sides 1, 1, and 1. Now, if you'll just give me the internal angles, and I'll take the smallest one first, or the largest one first, or in any order you would like. All four of them.
I think you've just broken his brain. All right, let's just move on and introduce Red's rhetoric.
In a Euclidean space, the sum of measures of these three angles of any triangle is invariably equal to the straight angle, also expressed as 180 degrees, radius, two right angles, or half turn. It was unknown for a long time whether geometries exist, and you guys are buttheads. Who cares?
All right, okay, flat. Philip.
Okay? I don't care about you guys I don't care. You guys want to take the flat Earth test? We're like,
right, Philip, stop talking for a sec. Philip, Philip,
I'm not going to do your stupid test, okay?
Okay, right. Let's move on. Let's move on from the test, Philip. Right.
I'm going to start talking about the next argument.
Right. So, Philip, stop. Right, I'm just going to have to mute you for a second, right? Because you won't stop talking, right? So you're muted right now. So you need to listen. Red, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining us.
I was in the midst of committing sins of the flesh, and you called me for this. This better be good.
So basically, he says that yours and Astronomy Live's observations of the ISS are faked, false, that you're lying about the maths, that trigonometry is satanic. Could you just talk him through briefly?
He's lying about the math.
Right,
he's lying about the math.
Hold on, everybody. Before we get started, let's do proper introductions. Red, this is Fred. Red. Go ahead.
Right, Red, could you talk?
Could
you
not
talk?
Fred, okay.
Sorry, Frank.
I'm either Franz or Flat, or Flat Ferdinand, or Ferdinand. You don't have the permission to call him or Frenchy.
All right. No
Absolutely, don't call him fucking Frenchy. He doesn't want you to call him Frenchy, whatever. That triggers him.
What?
Right.
What am I supposed to be?
Anyone can. Anyone can, but you can't.
Philip, stop talking
they
now.
Call me Frenchy. It doesn't matter.
All right.
But
So,
you know what?
Philip, stop talking. Will you shut up for 1 second? Reds, thank you for coming to the channel. Could you please talk Frank here through how you and Astronomy Live measured the distance and the speed of the ISS?
Yeah.
Why don't you let me ask
okay.
Right, Flat, you need to stop talking. Just let him explain to you first how it happened, okay? So you just need to be quiet for a few minutes. Off you go, Reds.
This is going to be a treat. Okay, so anyway, there is a website out there called transitfinder.com where you can. Oh, for
all right, Fran, I'm going to mute him. Yeah, I'm going to mute you for a couple of minutes. All right, carry on, Reds.
You found a winner with this one. Jesus
I know, right?
Fucking Christ. Okay, anyway, there is a website out there called transitfinder.com. You can literally type in your location, and it'll give you a bunch of dates where the ISS is going to be transiting in front of either the moon or the sun. Therefore, you don't have to take my word for it. You can do this yourself. That is the main thing that I want you to understand, is that you can do this yourself. You don't need to take my word for it. Cool. So, with that being said, myself and Astronomy Live used transitfinder.com to find out when the ISS would be passing in front of the moon. He was at one location, and I was a 1.11 kilometers away from him. Because we were distant from each other, our individual parallaxes meant that we saw individually the ISS pass over a different part of the moon. The moon has a known angular diameter. We can use that as a reference point, as a standard ruler for our measurements when it comes to getting the parallax value of our two tracks, the one that you're seeing on the screen right now. With those values in hand, we were able to find the distance to the ISS from us. And that turned out to be roughly 520-something kilometers or so. With the fact that we were also able to count the pixel diameter of the space station itself, we were able to use the law of perspective, alpha equals 2 times the arctan of g over 2r, to derive the actual size of the ISS, which turned out to be around 100-something meters, 109 meters maybe. Anyway, the actual value of the size of the space station shows that, yes, it is a station roughly the size of an American football field. Because we were also able to see how far it traveled in frame within a certain amount of time, we had distance, time, and we could figure out its speed because of that, because speed is distance over time. And it turned out to be roughly 7-point-something kilometers per second, something around there, thus confirming that it was traveling at orbital velocity. And then when we took into account that we were looking up at the sky by roughly 53 degrees, we were able to do a little bit more trig to find its altitude, even without taking the curvature of the Earth into account. And we found it to be around 410 kilometers in altitude. So the ISS is traveling at a speed that is impossible for a plane to reach. It's traveling at an altitude that is impossible for a plane to reach. And it's also the size that NASA says it was. So imagine that, everything checked out. So that is how we did our observation, and we continue to do observations like that to this day.
Okay, I'm going to unmute you, Franz, and I'd like you to respond to that with something sensible. Go ahead, Frank.
Well, let me find the screen here. Okay, so your friend, okay, has never looked into flat Earth science or anything like that.
This is rhetoric.
Shut the fuck up, kitty bitch. Otherwise, I'm going to start making your taste. So, your friend has never looked into the satanic origins of NASA, okay? Founders of NASA were Jack Parsons, okay?
Oh my God, where's my tequila?
I would say, me and Reds have both gone through our satanic training, and we both passed. Okay, so that's an incorrect statement.
Can I finish talking? Just so you guys know what you guys are doing here. Like, this is the thing. I'm exposing you guys here. I don't have to like respond to everything what you guys are saying. But this guy's just saying, hey, look, listen to NASA, what they say, no matter what. Look, it's transiting up in this.
I think you misunderstood me. I didn't take NASA's word for it. I did not take NASA's word for it. That's the thing. I simply confirmed what they were saying. That's not taking their word for it. That's me going out there and seeing it for myself.
I'm sorry, I think you should.
Calm down, Fred.
Myself. I did it myself. I didn't take NASA's word for it. So you're going to have to actually respond to my actual evidence.
You're a globhead bitch. You guys, let me talk.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep being...
Can you actually respond to what I actually said instead of trying to bring up something irrelevant?
Hey, can you shut the fuck up and let me talk, you little twerp? You sound like a twerp, man.
Only if you actually address what I said.
Right, Frank.
Show us your tits.
Frank, can you address what he said? Philip, can you address what he said?
If he interrupts me again, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Okay?
Cool. That'd be awesome.
So can you make him?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Please interrupt him. Please interrupt him.
Right. So
No, but you guys are
I'll make sure that.
Hey, Septic, you got this is your last chance here. No more plane. This is the thing. After this, then we get to the plane noises. If you let your dogs off the leash now, no fucking plane noises. You called him in. You mute.
I
that
will
fucking
tell you,
word.
I will tell you that I have been practicing my plane noises, and they're nowhere as good as yours. I went back and watched the stream. It was pretty amazing. I'd love to hear you hit it one time.
You know what? Cut the photographer off. He said what he had to say. This is. I did not agree to him staying on here.
Well, no, you
He's had his
didn't. You didn't
chance. Cut
address.
him off.
But Fred, hold on.
Okay, so
You need to address his point. You need to address his point. Don't just say he
Shut
used
the
it from
fuck
NASA because he
up.
didn't use.
Hey, don't fucking tell me
Just
that. I didn't
address
address
his
my
point.
When he interrupted
He
me, okay,
he's the
not
one who
supposed
made
to be
the
on here.
observation.
You guys
Okay,
are
he
being-
made the
you guys are
observation.
Let me speak. Okay, he asked you
Calm
guys
down,
on
Fred.
here.
You're gonna have an
Everyone's here
aneurysm.
Because, hey, listen, everyone's here because they want to hear what I have to say, and you guys keep shutting me up.
Not really.
Forcefully and arbitrarily.
Not really.
Because you are titty bitch brokers. Well, Craig is, and he's doing it. You're just not sticking up for me, and I can see your true colors. I know what your true colors are. You called me
Oh,
an
come
idiot
on. I'm
after
having
last
fun.
week, and you had-
Brilliant.
I didn't call you an
know,
idiot, did I? I mean, you are an idiot, but I don't think I called you an idiot.
Yeah.
Reds, I blame you for dragging me into all of this in the first place.
An idiot and make a claim.
Oh,
Like,
eat a
you were
dick.
like, yeah, here's an idiot. And you didn't even have a rebuttal or a claim to the whole thing. You just were like, yeah, he's
Okay.
an idiot, moved on. And
All right,
started
all
doing
right.
some
As
stupid
the moderator, Fred, I'm asking you to be quiet for 1 second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over to you to give you a chance to respond. But here's what I want you to try to do. Stay focused. I want you to address the observation that Red's rhetoric made. Just the observation. Don't say it was NASA. Don't say it was satanic. Just address the observation because he's saying he made the observation himself aside from
Yeah.
NASA. Go ahead,
So
Fred.
who cares? Okay, so he's not the only person in the world that's ever made that observation. NASA said so that there can be a bunch of science douches like yourselves to get out there with their P900, and they know it's only going to be so far, so they can't actually verify the ship, just like the photo you're having, okay? And you guys, like this math and that it's the size of a football field, honestly, I really do. I've looked into it, and my vote
Sure,
is
yeah.
really, it is just all globe Earth science, which is false. Okay, you guys are
But
factoring in-
Fred, you
Let me
still are not
finish.
addressing.
Let me finish.
You're not
I'm about to
addressing his
finish.
observation.
Hey,
Tink,
team.
tink, tink.
No, team, listen.
Listen,
I
at
would
the
very
end
much
of,
like to
at the
hear
end
his
of
rambling.
Titanic, shut the fuck up,
Okay.
you bitch. You guys, you're
Motherfucker, I'm on your side here, actually.
He's
Shut the
saying
fuck
that he
up.
wants you to speak.
You guys don't let me
I'm
finish.
telling everyone
See, now
to
you
shut the
guys
fuck
are
up and
going
letting you
to-
speak. Holy
All right,
shit.
go ahead,
why
Fred.
I'm
You
not
got
letting
it.
you do it.
You have the floor, Fred. You
That's
have the
why
floor.
I'm not
You have the
letting
floor.
you stay
The floor,
around.
Fred.
After
What do you
he's
mean,
done
not that?
ranting, I
Hey,
have a
Craig, look
question
at your
to
shirt. Hey, you know what? Get that bitch off the stream.
Okay, now address the observation, Philip.
What the fuck is Philip, bitch?
Oh, sorry, Philippe. My bad.
Listen, I told you before we got on the stream, can you put on a baggy shirt or something nice with a collar? Because I'm about to fucking puke looking at your tits. I asked you at least wear a bra, okay?
Yeah, but unfortunately, your mum's got all my bras right now.
You got tits the size of fucking Mount Everest on that shit, man. Okay? And then you know what? They're growing, and it's time to milk them. So shut the fuck up. Okay, all
Can
of
you ask your
let
mum
me
if I can
finish
have my wallet
point.
back? I think I left
You
it on
let
her
me
bedside
finish my
table.
point, and I'll tell you when I'm done. Okay? And you guys are witches, and this is what sorcery is about. What they're doing is they're doing witchcraft. They're trying to they hear the truth coming out, and the ego in the mouth. Get them to shut up now. Right? Notice how he's doing that to me, and I'm letting him finish all his points. But as soon as I get to what he doesn't want you guys to hear from me, right? The nails in his coffins, he starts interrupting. Just like his skinny fucking photo bitch that's still on, okay? And so, you want me to fucking respond? Then let's respond. Because when you
Get
guys
on
interrupt
with
me
it.
and I'm about 5-10 seconds finished, then I'm going to keep talking for 10 seconds about how fucked up your tits are, okay? And okay, so
All
you
right,
let me
enough
finish,
of that.
okay?
Enough of
Let me
that.
finish.
Hey, listen, enough of that. Just address the topics,
Show
please.
respect. Okay. Well, every once in a while, I have to iron out Craig. You know, it's like taking a bed sheet and flipping it out. Okay.
Get
So
on
now
with
that
it.
it's ironed, I can get on with it. Okay. So like what you're saying, like you notice how as soon as I got to the math and I was talking about like their math work, that's when they tackled me, right? That's when they tackled me. Go ahead, put the chart up. Okay. Go ahead, don't do it. So what their math, what they're using, okay, is globe science math, which is factoring in a curve which is not there, which means that it is false, it is wrong, okay? So the math that they have been given by NASA and mainstream science to do this is actually wrong because they're saying, oh yeah, it should be here at this time, and they're just putting something up, and they're just telling you arbitrarily, this hell is 17,000 kilometers away. There's no truth to that. That's bullshit. Just so everyone knows, that part of their math, there's a curve, there's no curve, and then it's 17,000 kilometers away, and they're saying that they can fucking measure it and stuff, and that's bullshit. This is absolute bullshit, okay? It is, the math is not exist. Literally, the math is scientism, which is fake science. And with that, I'll leave it at that, okay?
All right,
Alright,
Reds has a question for you.
Let's hear what the twerp has to say. Let's hear the photo twerp has to say.
All right. In my entire observation, can you please point to the exact moment I factored in the Earth's curvature into account?
Yeah, man. When you pull up the math, pull up the math chart.
Sorry, let me get it back up.
Bring up my video,
man,
please.
you're dumb.
Yeah, bring that up now. Sorry, I managed to shut down that.
Because in my original video and in the
Stay in
No,
even the
I'm
Strongly Lies
talking
video,
about Craig. Okay.
that is my
I'm talking
observation,
about.
and
Oh,
that is my
No, I'm
observation.
talking about the math that. Okay, look, this math chart that Craig had where it showed the curvature of the Earth. That's what I want you to put up again. Put that one up. Okay? I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Fred,
explain
hold
your
on one
answer.
second. I'll tell him which. You know what he's talking about,
jumping-
Fight? I do.
Reds.
The one that was-
He's talking about the one that showed the curvature,
Yeah, I'm getting that now.
the Earth
This is-
curving
this is
away
his math.
with a triangle.
This is his
There you go.
math. This is his math, okay? Everyone, do you see what he's trying to do there again? He's trying to like not let
Thank you.
the one I want. He said, "Oh,
Thank you.
put up the
There you
other
go.
one." Yeah, this is what I
All right,
wanna see,
leave it right
okay?
there. Okay.
The photo-
Right,
All right.
He's a
Philip,
little
shush.
When-
Philip, shush.
Please mute him. Please
I'm
mute
gonna
him
mute
because
him. I'm gonna mute him
I'm
for
not
2
gonna get
seconds.
a. All right, thank you. Because I'm going to explain this. Understand this. I did not take the curvature of the Earth into account. If you include the curvature of the Earth, it differs by maybe 5 kilometers when it comes to the altitude of the International Space Station. The curve of the Earth does not change the angular size of the Moon. The curve of the Earth does not change the angular size of the ISS during the night of the observation. And the curve of the Earth does not change the parallax value that we got in the first place. This is the same type of math that other Flerfs use, because even other Flerfs are smart enough to understand that trigonometry is legit. I did not use the curvature of the Earth in my calculations. The conclusion was still the same. The ISS was traveling at an altitude that is impossible for a plane to reach. The ISS was traveling at a speed that is impossible for a plane to reach. This wasn't due to math that NASA gave me. I did the math myself. It just so happened to agree what NASA was saying about the ISS, as if they're telling the fucking truth. Imagine that. I'm done.
All right, I'm going to unmute you now, Philip. So you heard what he said? Did you hear what he said?
Yes. Okay, good.
That he didn't take into account the curve of the Earth?
Let me respond to that. Put the chart back. The chart was supposed to be for me to talk, not him, okay? Put it back. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I was like, let's see the math, because all your guys' math is scientism. We'll just call it that for now. So it's like, okay, well, let's see the math that you guys are talking about, because you're always hiding it and just telling people that, oh, they did the math and it's fine, okay? So the hoax here is that, look, they're saying that, okay, here, let me just look it up on my screen here. Anyways, you can't see, okay, anyways, on a flat Earth, okay, the horizon raises to eye level. It doesn't horizon dip as they show here, okay? So when it says horizon dip, put it back. Just put it back and stop being a tit bitch. Okay, so as you see, follow where it says horizon dip. Put it back, dude. Why won't you let me explain?
Oh, sorry, I was just showing you the horizon not rising to eye level.
Okay, but you don't have to do it twice. But like, the horizon always raises to eye level. Okay, so basically, it doesn't, like, the reason why you say it doesn't rise to air level, you got your little test tubes out again with the meniscus, and that doesn't prove anything. So what we're looking at here is the horizon dip, and then you see where it says eye level and surface level, and then it go, okay, below that bulge and drop. So this doesn't, okay. So where they're, okay, so, and I agree with you. I'm not trying to hide the fact that this is measured from the flat horizon stuff, okay? But, okay, so now I want to verify that for myself. Let's see what you're measuring from. I want to see if you're measuring from the curve or the other one. But it's like this, we're at 500 kilometers, and you're saying it's 5 meters of curve. Okay, well, I just want to verify what you guys are talking about. Let me finish. Don't interrupt, because I haven't finished my point. When I'm finished, I'll let you know.
Bring up my video at 10:36,
Yeah, I'm getting it there.
Hey, no, you know what? Look, what I'm saying, okay, fine. It's very simple, okay? And I'm going to make a point, and then you guys can go right and bitch, and you can do your witchcraft. And then we're going to move on to the next argument, because we're never supposed to make this about the ISS, and you weren't supposed to bring up your little twerk friend anyways. But I'm ready for it anytime, any place. So what this guy is, the photo twerk, he's totally brainwashed by NASA and has never looked into, like I said, the satanic occulted origins of it. Okay, Werner von Braun, Hitler's a rocket scientist and the founder of the Church of Satan, okay? And it's like, he doesn't even know that. And it's like, oh, as soon as you talk about Satan, everyone's like, oh, what the fuck, shut the fuck up. And we're all scared off. It's like, oh, yeah, well, you know what? They've been carving reptilian beings into stone since the beginning of time, okay?
Ad hominem.
That's just a fact. So is that all a hoax now, too? So let me make my point here, okay? These guys are totally brainwashed by NASA, and they will believe anything it says. So just because the math works out for something in the sky, so I'm not saying it doesn't. I was just saying, let me see your globe head math. Okay, I see it, and the fact that it's like you measure it from the flat surface. Okay, yeah, well, that's the controlled opposition part, where you have to make sense for flat Earth, even if that's not flat. Like I'm saying, you have no way of verifying that's the ISS in the sky. You're showing a blurry little like speck of dirt that you cannot zoom in or verify. When flat earthers verify if a ship goes over the curve.
Okay, have you finished now?
You see the ship. I'm about to finish, so just let me finish, okay? Before you see the ship, you just see the ocean and the flat horizon. And then you zoom in, and then you see the top of the ship, and then you see the blurry ship, and it's like, whoa. And then you can like zoom in all the way, and then you can see that, hey, like that sail ship, it's blue. It's got like, maybe you can even see the flag it's from and stuff. But and that's verifying, okay? In no way has Titty Bitch or fucking Photo Twerk verified the ship. They're just using their belief and religious faith in NASA.
Okay, I'm going to mute you now because you've been rambling for 5 minutes. Reds, go ahead.
Thank you. Okay. By the way, I'm not photo twerp. I'm a fuck mothering cunt. Thank you. Yes. If you're going to insult me, do it properly. All right. So my one and only question. This should literally take 10 seconds to answer. This is the first slide that shows my math. There's 2 slides, but just focus on this one slide that you're seeing right now. can you please point to where curvature is factored into these mathematics?
Okay, again, you missed my point. I never said it was. I just cleared over that. You weren't listening because you're ahead, and you only listen to your own mind thoughts.
Mute him. Mute him. The point wasn't whether or not I was listening. I'm getting to that. But first, I need to make sure something is clear between you and me. Are you agreeing that curvature was not taken into account on this slide alone? Do we agree there?
Okay, again, you weren't listening because I've already said that.
We just want a yes or a no.
The reason why.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Right,
yeah,
thank you. I'm
yes.
going to mute you again so Reds can carry on.
Okay, now, Craig, can you please go to 11 minutes, 24 seconds and pause it? Okay, on this slide that we're seeing, can we both agree that curvature, once again, is not being taken into account here? Do we agree there?
Again.
Yeah, yes or no, but that's all we need is a yes or a no.
Can you guys shut up?
No, we just need a yes or a no from you.
Before he started condescending.
Right, we're going to go with yes and mute you again. Carry on, Reds.
All right, perfect. So since we agree, I'm assuming that curvature was not taken into account, how is this supposed to be, quote, globe Earth math? Because I assumed a flat Earth when doing my calculations.
Honestly, I've heard that there's no point of dealing with you guys because you keep interrupting.
Oh,
right?
For fuck's sake.
So
I just need
let
to
me
answer
finish,
my question,
okay?
dude.
So, hey, you know what?
So,
like,
you understand that this was done based on a flat Earth, right?
Get this bitch off the stream.
No, it's my channel. I'm in charge.
I'll answer your question. I'll answer the question. If you tell him to shut the fuck up and let me finish. Honestly, if you're in the same room as me right now, I would kick you out. And if you had the balls to say, no, I'm staying, then you would.
Nah, you won't be able to lift me. My bitch flips are too heavy.
No, not you, Craig. Not you. Okay, I have a soft spot for you, right? A soft kitty spot. This photo twerp thinks it's okay to interrupt and not get on.
Dude, he's literally not interrupted you.
You guys gang up. That's such bullshit. Okay. Now let me speak. Okay.
Only if you answer his question.
Can you not interrupt me?
Yeah, only if you answer your question. The question that was given to you.
Okay, thank you. And stop talking then. Okay.
Only if you answer the question that was given to you. Okay.
Okay. So first of all, before he started talking like a little bitch, doing like, do you know this was based on the flat Earth map? I just explained twice before in the earlier 2 minutes that is exactly what I understood. Okay? So he's trying to make it look like I don't understand this equation to make it look like I'm stupid. And really, he's just being a fucking sorceress bitch. So
we're sorcerers because we use math threads.
Shut up. What I'm saying is, yes, I understand that it is taken from a flat perspective, and I always have. Ever since I got you finally pulled up the math chart, you're trying to hide from me. So see, you little bitches, I know what you're trying to do, okay?
What was I trying to hide from you?
Excuse me, I'm about to finish. I understand something in the sky that you guys are measuring with this, like, satanic NASA science that works out. Yeah, and if you actually do the math, sure, it works out. But you have no way of verifying that is a ship up there with people in more than a blurred photo and a bunch of like false propaganda from NASA. And every flat earther knows that that's what the deal is. When they say you're about to transit,
Go to NASA.
then they put up a plane and they do the whole show. And that is what my view is.
Confirmed it wasn't a plane, though.
I'm not refuting. Listen,
you
I'm not
realize that Reds
refuting the
didn't
math.
go to NASA at all.
So
if you're not
mainstream science math.
Right.
What are you talking about? Yes, he did. That website with it showing the ISS transit. I don't care if it's NASA or whatever. It is NASA. The ISS is NASA.
It's not NASA.
Anything up in the sky is NASA. Okay. See how you guys trying to get off the hook?
Can you please mute him?
Yeah.
Showing
I'm gonna
us
mute you for a
that
second.
Let me make this perfectly fucking clear for Cue Ball over here. Nothing I did involves NASA, period. Absolutely nothing I did involves NASA. I didn't go to NASA for any of my math. I didn't go to NASA for any of my footage. I did it myself. You can do it yourself. Anyone can do it themselves. Every time you bring up NASA, you are engaged in a straw man, okay? I did not go to NASA. You're engaged in some debate, but you're not engaged in this debate. So, dude, you have one of two options. You can either accept that my observation, my math, my analysis is not from NASA, or you can continue to be intellectually dishonest with not only yourself, but everyone here, and show that we can't really trust Flerfs. So it's completely up to you at this point.
So good at twisting, and you know what? The tone of your voice
He's
is
still
so
going.
Everyone. I really love it.
Yeah.
I really love it.
Yeah,
Bravo.
but Francis,
Bravo.
hold on. Let me say something. Let me say something real quick because I've been kind of quiet lately. Francis, check this out. When you are saying that something is not right, there's two ways of approaching that. There's one that's saying, well, it's not right because reasons. And there's another way of approaching it and saying it's not right because of these reasons and demonstrating those reasons to show how what is being shown is actually incorrect. You just saying, oh, NASA, oh, this, oh, that, it's not really demonstrating how what he's showing is incorrect. It's just saying that you can't figure it out, therefore you believe that it's incorrect. Demonstrate for us how you know it to be incorrect.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to be, in the way that I'm demonstrating, because I'm going to be using myself and my mind and a deprogramming exercise for you guys, okay, to provide another reality, okay? And no matter what, you guys have to listen. This is what I'm going to show, okay? Because, first of all, you guys have pulled this topic way off topic, and then you pulled on this guy and whatever. So I'm not going to do your and all that stuff, because what you guys are trying to force me into a mathematical equation that does not bend water at all, so it has nothing to do with this debate anyways. And the second of all is you guys no way of showing that that's a real ship up there. You are the ones using faith and belief that's a real spaceship and there's people up there, and the math you're getting is real, and you really have not looked into it, and you've not done the research, and you have no idea that
I love how he says we haven't done the research.
Let me talk about the photo tour, like, and him saying that he did not do anything NASA. Well, okay, let me correct myself, okay? Everything that has anything to do that's up in the space, okay, that's recording anything in the space that NASA agrees with, and also has on their website, is the same thing. It's just another agent. It's just another Agent Smith, okay? So it doesn't matter, okay? Like, Carlos, the team, France lost the game, so my buddy here, Carlos, okay, like, we had this, exactly, Carlos, because we had this ISS debate, and I was asking him for a photo of the ISS, and after like 2 months, he came up, he was like, yeah, this kid named Jimmy on Instagram takes photos of the ISS, and he posted, and the same thing that Photo Tour did. He took a photo of something up there, it's a blurry full of aluminum junk that you cannot verify. Okay, and so the fact that you guys will not look into the satanic origins of science and astrology in space, because space
but Francis, you're
I'm
still not addressing. But you're not addressing his evidence. No, you're just fucking waffling.
Yeah.
Just address his evidence.
Okay, mute his ass. Mute his ass, please.
All right, you're muted, Frank.
Let me be very clear once again. I don't give a shit about NASA. I don't give a shit about its origins. I don't give a shit what they tell me. I don't give a flying fuck about NASA. NASA can get fucked for all I care. The only thing I did was go out, do an observation, make measurements, and then post the results. That is all I did. And you're sitting here saying, well, you need to look into NASA. You need to do this. You need to do that. I don't need to do shit besides actually do the observation, make the measurements, and then post the fucking results. And you can do this shit yourself, motherfucker. Seriously. This is the level of intellectual dishonesty you want to go down. You want to come here and say, oh, well, I don't need to actually address the math because I can just say it's all NASA and say it, then I can easily ignore it. And oh my God, look at that, what they're doing to the children and the Freemasons and the Illuminati and the lizard people. Address the fucking math, you dumbass.
Hey, we need to let Frank have a little word now that he's on Inception on the screen. Go ahead, Frank. Speak your mind.
Serious.
Okay, so first of all, do you see how these guys won't let me finish my point? Because they're deciding in their mind that, oh, but he's getting off point. Stop the fuck up, you globehead bitches, all three of you. Septic tank, photo scientism bitches. Okay? I told you where.
Why are you so triggered, Francis?
Because you guys are being globehead bitches. I'm not triggered.
Hey, at least you didn't say you weren't triggered.
I'm standing up for my communication rights, and I'm not letting you be globehead. So, without fucking wearing bra, okay? All that, this guy's saying, you have to force to agree to my satanic math, and I'm not looking into the satanic origins of it. And he's saying all of this works. Okay, fine. Let's say that the math works. I'm agreeing with the photo math. Okay, it's based on flat Earth. Okay, it's based on flat Earth. There's something in the sky. It's a space station, and all I'm saying, that's not a space station up there. And you're saying, yes, it is, because I myself, and it's my friend, and let me see the real photo evidence of the close-up of the ISS, and you don't have it. You're just using your religious faith in your photo that verify it's not zoomed in enough, and that's my point. So let's move on. I'm done with the photo tour.
So he made his point. Mute him.
Red's turn. One sec.
So,
1 sec, Frank. We'll get to you in 1 second. Hold on. You just had the floor for 5 minutes. Now you be quiet for a sec. Go on, Reds.
This isn't my opinion that this is a space station. Okay, this is a demonstrable fact that it is in space.
Philippe, you're muted.
And the reason why it's demonstrable is because there isn't a plane in existence that can reach the altitude needed in order for it to match with my observation. There isn't a plane in existence. And just to give one example, Spaceship One is a rocket plane. That rocket plane can reach an altitude of around 112 kilometers or so. We measured the ISS to be around 414 kilometers in altitude. So around 4 times higher than even a rocket plane can reach. So no, there isn't a plane in existence that can do what the ISS can do. There isn't a plane in existence that can go as fast as the ISS can. In fact, if a plane were to try to go at the speed that the ISS was traveling, it would burn the fuck up. So no, the evidence points to the ISS being not a plane and a craft in space. Whether it's occupied or not is a totally separate subject. There is something out there, something at the altitude that NASA says it is, traveling the speed that NASA says it is, and is the size that NASA says it is. Of those 3 parameters that we were able to verify, NASA is right, whether I fucking like them or not.
All right. So I'm going to unmute you now, Francis. Philippe, sorry. And you can get to your next point as you've lost the ISS one.
Okay, can I leave now?
So I have
Yes, wait 1 sec. Reds is just going to leave, so I just want to say thank you for coming on and showing the evidence that you personally got. I do appreciate it, Reds.
Craig, I just
Reds,
want you
I
to
have a
know
question
this
for you.
before you leave.
Yeah.
No, fuck you. No, Craig, listen, fuck you, all right? You pulled me out of bed for this stupid shit. You're lucky we're friends. Otherwise, I take a cactus and I shove it up your ass sideways.
So you got that $10 of mine yet?
Oh, fuck off.
Thanks, Reds. I do appreciate you coming on.
take a photo of it.
Catch you later, buddy. Thank you very much. Right, Philippe, what was your next point?
Anyway, so basically, the photo tour is trying to force everyone into believing it's a real spaceship because he has math that works out. Okay, Let's use it, but you have to use faith because there's no photo. Okay, so let's move on.
I mean,
Okay,
apart
let's
from the
move
photos
on.
he had, of course.
Let's move on to the container. Okay, so basically, earlier we're talking about water and stuff, and how water can only be in the container, right? Well, and so all containers and standing bodies of water have flat surfaces, and it doesn't matter if it's in your sink, your
I mean,
glass,
they don't. But,
the swimming pool, or a lake, a lagoon, or even the ocean, because you can clearly see the behavior of water. It sits flat and level at its surface, okay? So in order for the oceans to curve, and the ocean water would have to be magically curving ocean water, but that's not the reality of it. So Craig believes in two realities, and he cannot prove the second one. But flat earthers can disprove it, like all day long, and this is what I'm doing. Okay? Let's get on to the plane noises, shall we?
would you like to see some evidence that water's curved? Do you want to see
No,
some?
I'm just moving on. I was just kind of like just summing up so far.
All right,
like,
right. So you don't want to see evidence that disproves what you're saying?
Okay, go ahead. Take 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I'll take as long as I fucking
All
want. My
contained
channel, little
water.
bitch.
I'm saying all contained water, the surface is flat no matter what. And I'm not talking
Cool.
about the edges of the meniscus of the water, and I'm not talking about water that's been manipulated by any kind of force. So go ahead.
Well, there's always a force on water. It's called gravity.
No, there's not.
Well, you'd have to tell me why
Well, okay,
accelerometers.
let's factor in your fake gravity. You can have that, sure.
Oh well, if I can have that, then water curves. Awesome.
Well, water is there either way, if there's gravity or not. It's still a reality, so I can accept that as evidence.
And
okay?
the
You can
gravity
see it,
is making the
right?
water curve.
It's not just like a math equation and water. Okay, so continue. I mean, you don't have anything that's not like you're saying. People are saying in the chat that there's like a wave. That doesn't count.
Yeah, of course it does.
Okay. Okay, let's see what you got. What do you got?
So, the Discovery
It doesn't.
Channel, the Discovery Channel actually went and did their own laser tests.
If you think a wave counts, you're insane. Look at that behind here. That's a big force that's applied. That's not a body of water. It's a standing body of water.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
the claim.
Yeah, now
So
shut the
hear him-
fuck up.
here's him doing
Stop your
Sorcery
flapping
again.
gums for
Here's
1
him doing
second.
Sorcery again.
Be quiet. Shut your fucking mouth for 1 second. Discovery Channel did their own laser tests, and when they did the laser
Discovery
tests,
Channel. Controlled opposition.
whether they're controlled opposition
Hey,
or
Fight,
not,
did
they
you
went
see
and
my
did it.
Fight? Did you see my Discord message to you? I'm about
No,
to have to
sorry.
get off here in a second.
All right,
Oh,
no
it's
worries.
okay. I gotta. My son's about to be here. I gotta feed him. So.
Okay. So when they did their own laser tests, what they found was the further away from the shore that they were, the higher up the laser was. And when they went out so far that the curve was so pronounced, they actually had to get a helicopter so that they could see where the laser was pointing. Okay? So their laser showed that the Earth was curved. Flat Earthers love to talk about laser tests all the time. So when
show us the curve.
when professionals,
Where's the curve?
the
Where's
curve,
the curve? Can you show us the evidence? I just
Yes.
see some guys like.
well,
It looks like a
I
men's
will
warehouse.
shut your lips, shush for 2 minutes. Okay.
Stop swearing.
If you watch this video, the whole thing, it will actually show you the process they go through to show the curve. But the curve
You're
is
trying
shown.
to show me.
Shush
you're
your
trying to
mouth
show
for
us
1
the
second.
water.
All right, I'm muting you
Show us-
because you can't shut up. All right. Why can't flat earthers have conversations without shutting the fuck up? It's amazing. So, when the boat was close to the shore, they managed
Parents
to.
don't love him enough.
I know. The laser hit this board that they've got. I went past it there. I'll get to the right bit. So I'm trying to get to the right bit. Sorry, but you can watch this video yourself, and it shows right. So the laser is hitting the boat, but the further away that the boat got from the shore, the higher up the laser was on the board. It got to, so that's when they're close to it, it's down there. But as they move further away, the laser goes higher and higher up. They get to a point where they have to actually get out a different board So the laser is... There you go. Now he's had to go up there because the laser is now hitting the top of that. Meaning the surface of the water was curving because the laser was going higher and higher. So there is evidence of curvature. I mean, there's also a nice picture of the Earth from space showing curvature, but whatever. So this video, which you can watch yourself, and it's an experiment that you can actually do yourself, shows you that there is curvature. Okay? So I will unmute you now, address the fact that there is curvature due to the fact that the laser was higher up the further away from the shore that they were.
Okay.
I don't want to hear. Yeah, I don't want to hear any nonsense about their satanic controlled opposition. I just want you to address the actual evidence.
Yeah, but I know, but that's the whole thing. Blowheads don't want to hear about what kills their stories and stuff, and what the reality of this was. And that's one thing that, like, you can't.
Hey guys, listen. Before you start, can I just say my goodbyes so I can get out of here? Before y'all get back into it. All right. Well, I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat, especially thank you to everybody that was able to help with super chats. And if you can't, by all means, you can help by sharing this on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Thank you, Fight the Flat Earth, for letting me on and letting me moderate and listen to this. Listen to this in first person. Oh yeah, for sure. And you too, Fernando. It was nice meeting you and talking to you for a second time. And maybe we'll see you around the next time. I'm Team Skeptic, and I'm out.
Thanks for your time, man.
Cheers, buddy. Right, so just me and you now, Philip.
Okay, let's just calm down. Okay, fine.
Cool. You gonna stop?
Relax.
Are you gonna chill out? Because you realize you've
As long as
embarrassed
you
yourself
guys,
pretty badly.
well, that's the thing. It's like my thing is that I don't let people control the way I communicate, and I think that
when you're on
see
someone
how
else's
that's
channel,
right.
you're gonna need to do that because this is my platform and
you know
I'm in
what?
charge.
But
And if you don't
the
like
rules
it,
of
you
a
can go
debate-
away. Yeah, the rules of the debate are
No.
you shut up and listen when someone else is talking, which you have failed on
And
every
exactly.
single time.
Exactly. Right. And so you continue to break those rules because you cut me off when you decide that I'm getting off topic. When I'm right about to tie everything together, you're getting off topic. You're getting off topic.
Dude,
right when I'm about to tie everything
You
together, and
ramble
then
for
you
10
confuse
minutes at a
everyone.
time. Now,
Confuse everyone. Yeah,
stop,
but it's not- okay,
stop
but it's
talking.
not-
Stop talking. Address the.
Don't tell me to
Stop
talk when I'm
talking.
talking about.
Stop
It's
talking.
not up to you.
It is up to me because
It's
I
not for
control
you
the
to
stream.
decide when I'm finished talking. That's what I'm saying.
It
You're not-
absolutely
that's-
is. Now be
that's
quiet.
control.
Philip, can
Don't
you
tell
shut-
me to be quiet when I'm talking.
Come on,
I'm
Fernando.
a decent person. You
Look,
can
Frank.
wait till I'm finished speaking and respond
Francis.
like a gentleman and have
Yeah.
manners, okay? I can
Philip,
tell that you
come on,
and
Francis,
your
you need to stop talking.
your kids sitting at the dinner
You need
table
to-
and you all shout at each other at the same time. But I'm sorry, I was
You need
raised
to stop
to have
talking.
respect for other
Yeah,
people.
no, shush. You
No.
haven't stopped talking for 5
Don't tell
minutes.
me to stop
Now
talking.
shut up and listen. I just present.
And don't
Now,
interrupt me. Don't
Now
interrupt
be
me
quiet
until
when I
make my
talk.
point.
All right, I'm going to mute you because
Don't
you're not.
interrupt me.
Right, you're muted now. I presented you with evidence. Can you please now address the evidence that there is curvature to the Earth? Go.
Okay, what are we talking about? Where were we at? Just refresh
my
me. Where were we
God.
at again?
This is
Okay,
this is your
you know
problem.
what?
You don't listen.
You got too much bullshit, and when I lose track of thought, just do it and ask. Where are we? Stop fucking.
Yeah.
stop
Now, if you
judging
shut your
me.
fucking mouth for 1 second and listen, then maybe you would be
Okay.
able to follow the conversation.
Okay,
Don't,
then
don't
show me
talk.
some
Don't
respect.
talk.
Let me
Don't
finish.
talk. Don't talk and listen for 1 second.
Don't talk.
I just presented you with evidence that there is curvature to the Earth. Please respond to that evidence.
Okay. I got it now. Okay, so this Discovery Channel video that he just showed, okay, it said Discovery Science. So anything that's a science show on television or any website that says science now or anything science, this is all like literally it's scientism.
Yeah, okay.
Ever
I'm
since
going to
the
mute you
inception-
because you didn't listen. I asked you to address the evidence, not talk about how you think they're all lying. So once again, I'm going to ask you, and if you don't address the evidence, I will mute you again. I just showed you evidence that there is curvature. I don't give a fuck where it's coming from. It was evidence. Address the evidence. Go.
Okay, so he did not show any curvature of evidence. I did not see any myself. What he said was evidence was a laser pointing on a boat across a flat water field, okay? And there was one clip there where you saw a side clip from side view. There was a laser going across the top, and then on the where the laser was sitting at the height from the boat, right? And then down below, right along the water, there was dotted lines that showed the water. And that was the clip. I asked him to put it back, and he wouldn't put it back.
I didn't hear you say put it back to there. Yeah, I mean, I'll go to wherever you want. And you realize that's just a... Let me get that bit.
I'm addressing your evidence, so just do it. Otherwise, we're going to get nasty. Go back to the clip.
Yeah.
Side view of the double A. There it is. No? Yeah, okay. So where the fuck's your curvature?
Okay, you realize that's a picture.
Where's the curvature here? Please, and then let me respond.
Okay, so that is a representation of what the laser should do if the Earth was flat. That isn't an actual picture of it. That is a representation of what should be the case if the Earth was flat. But what actually happened was the further the boat got away from the shore, the higher up on the board that laser was, until it got so high that they actually had to go and get a helicopter to see where the laser was pointing. This is not what they did. This is a representation of what you should see if it was flat.
Show it now. Now show us the picture of the laser then, the real ones, the different ones. Right. Because I'll show you where it's flat again.
I mean, there was no side-on picture like that. I mean, there's the laser coming.
If you can't show the laser going across the water right now, then this is all controlled opposition. It's obvious. It already is.
You're saying it's controlled opposition, but I don't care because that's not what I asked you.
Show me the laser. Okay, then show us the laser going across the water. Show us the laser with the photo.
There is.
Show us.
You normally can't see a laser like that. But as you can see...
No, there's another photo with the laser.
There wasn't that. Just watch the whole video yourself. I'm going to mute you because you keep rambling. So once again, the evidence is the further away from the shore the boat was, the higher the laser was. I don't care if you think it's controlled opposition. I don't give a fuck about that. Address the fact that the laser was higher and higher the further the boat was from shore. Go.
Okay, there's a picture that you of the boat with shining the laser across the water. Can you pull that one up, please? It was a real photo. It was a dag. It was like kind of going on an angle. Just keep going. Keep
back here.
Seeing thumbnails. I'm seeing the thumbnails. Okay, there's one where it's just a little bit. No, go back. Keep going. No,
as you can
not
see.
Down. See how they're doing it, but not the whole one there, right?
Just so you
Here's another one.
Yeah, just so you can see.
Can you show me the laser?
Yeah, just so you can see.
Let's see it.
Will you shut the fuck up? As you can see, this is the laser firing towards that boat. The laser is leveled. The laser is, they used the level to make sure the laser was level. Okay? And it's not moved.
Another photo. Keep going. Keep going back.
There's no photos. The whole thing is a video.
Okay. There's one. Trust me, I saw it. There's one. Just keep going. Oh. No, go to the right. Go to the right.
Yeah. Again, that's not a photo. That's the representation.
Not the one. Yeah, keep going. Okay. Okay. Well, go back. That one. The one with there. There it is. There it is. Pull that up. No. There we go. Okay. So there's one. Is there another one?
There's lots. You need to watch the video.
Let's look at it. Let's look at it because this one, the laser looks like completely straight and flat.
Yeah.
So
right. Now, let me stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Let's talk whenever you want.
Right. So you understand what's happening because you clearly don't. That laser is what you see firing, and when the laser hit the target, it was halfway up the board. They took the boat further and further away from the shore. The further they got from the shore, the higher up the laser was. So high that they had to measure it on an extra board. The closer they were, the lower down it was. The further away they were, the higher it was. Do you understand?
Well, sure, that's fine, but that doesn't change the fact in this article of Discovery Science, or this little documentary, they're doing a video of measuring lasers, right? And when you do that, and especially at night, you can take pictures and see the laser going across from edge to edge. And they're clearly not doing that in this documentary on purpose, because if they did, it would expose the fact that the laser and the water are completely flat. And that's what I'm saying. So anyone,
so you're basically
just go
you're saying
ahead.
you're refusing to address the evidence and just calling it fake.
What I'm saying is that this is a hit piece because they're not showing the laser goes edge to edge. And
So you're ignoring the
I'm not
evidence.
finished.
So you're ignoring the
No,
evidence. So you're ignoring. No, you shut the fuck up. I'm going to mute you again. So I'm going to reiterate. You're ignoring the evidence and just claiming it's fake. Is that right?
You're being a witch.
All right. Yes or no?
And you.
Yes or no?
You agreed to
Yes or no?
interrupting me and letting me finish
Yes
my
or no?
points. And you need to go on.
Well,
And everyone warned me. No point.
I agreed that I would let you talk if you address the evidence. Otherwise, I'm just going to mute you until you do. Address the evidence or you're getting muted again. Go.
Okay, and I ask you, what evidence? You haven't showed me one photo of a laser going across the water. There's not one photo that shows the laser going edge to edge.
Don't care.
Can you find one for me?
Don't care. Address the evidence.
Care. Right here, everybody. He doesn't care
No.
that the whole documentary is about a laser going. And don't interrupt, Craig. This is not an argument. It's not
I'm
a
just going to
back and
mute you
forth.
again and ask once more. And if you don't, I'm just going to say I've won this point and we're going to move on. Address the evidence that the further away they got, the higher up the laser was. I don't care if you think it's fake. Address the evidence. Go.
I didn't see any. Okay, well, I didn't see any evidence that the further away the laser went up at all. I didn't see any evidence. Any photo that you showed me there was just like a flashlight, just like staring off into the sky, and it proved nothing. Because excuse me, I'm finished. You shut the fuck up.
Okay, you're still not addressing the evidence. You're just claiming it's fake. So I'm muting you again, and I'm going to ask the question once more, and then we're going to move on. Address the evidence that the further away they were from the shore, the higher up the laser was. If you don't address the evidence, I'm just going to mute you, and we're going to move on. Go. Oh, has he rage quit? That's what I was trying for. Is he gone? Yeah, he left. Well, guys, that was fun. Flat Earthers don't know how to have conversations. It's incredible. They don't have any evidence. All they have is it's fake, so I don't need to address that, which is perfect. That adds one more to my rage quit counter, so I'm going to update this and I'll have 2 on there. But let's read the super chats and get out of here for tonight. This has been a very fun stream. Wow, I have a lot of super chats. Fuck me. Thank you very much, guys. Let's go back to here. Right, so we start at the beginning. Ranger Man 9404 for $5. Should I grab my oven mitts, take off my glasses, and mount a piece of bulletproof glass over my TV screen before we start? You probably should have. I'm sorry I didn't tell you to do that in the first place. Better charge for $2. Damn no robot lady, up your game FTFE. But that's Team's thing. I don't want to take his gimmick. I'll come up with my own. I'm trying to figure out something special for the members and stuff. Rangerman 9404 for $2. Flat Ferdinand has an IQ of 1, 1, and 1 times 10 to the negative 17. UTB Doug for £2. Smells like shite. Definitely shite. Better charge for $2. New Zealand. Let's go back 4,000 years to Spirit World. It works. Better charge for $2 New Zealand dollars. PS, they use liquid, not water. When is water green? I know. When he was like, yeah, water's always flat and level. Well, they're not the same thing, and it's not in that wave behind you or in your level. He thinks, here's one thing that gets me right. He thinks because it's called a level, therefore level is flat. But he doesn't understand the difference between a noun and an adjective. So obviously a noun is a naming word. So yes, that is a level. But when you're talking about a describing word, which is an adjective, Level means conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of Earth's surface, because that is the physical description of the word. Christopher... Oh, no, wait, fuck. I've got more. End Flat Earth for $2. OMFG, please let this guy not be serious. I wish. Rocket Scientist for $5 At Freddy, seriously? Out of 100,000 sperm, you were the fastest? I know, it amazes me. Christopher Hogan for $5 Please ask about the ice wall, how thick it is, how it can hold everything in, how does it support a dome, and what's it made of? Magic. I've just realised that you can see my fucking wire from my virtual reality kit. Stephen York for $7.99 I watched a homeless person dribble saliva for 10 minutes into a puddle. He had way more cognitive capacity than this psycho shaman. Yep. Rampant for 1,000 claps. He kind of looked like Voldemort with a nose. And he was calling me fucking a witch. Hashtag FTFE's a witch. Carrie Oliver for $33.33. Thank you very much. Oh shit, you're a sorcerer. Why didn't you say that in the first place? I'm convinced. Yes, I am, in fact, a sorcerer. I'm a witch. It's confirmed. NA for $6.66. This is for Flat Ferdinand. Hail Satan. Hail Satan indeed. Quizmer for $2. Is his birthstone crystal meth? He acts like it. No doubt for $2. I'm guessing he's the Angry Town drunk. You would be guessing right. Cretin Ball for $2 Canadian. I'm calling it now. 2020 DFOT winner. Possibly. Translator Carmanian for $5. I want to congratulate Freddy for making Flat Earth Aussie Jesus look sane. Something tells me he failed Defense Against the Dark Arts, though. Everyone fails Defense Against the Dark Arts. No doubt for $2. I never met an angry, childish shaman until now. Rocket Scientist, $5 Canadian. Freddy, you're so stupid that no woman will bang you. Your only chance of getting laid is to crawl up a chicken's ass and wait. Oofed. No doubt for $2 Australian. Give Fergie another beer. I'm a little bit tipsy. I have a fair bit of tequila tonight. Stephen York for $7.99 Australian. Fred complains about fight interrupting, then complains about not being allowed to interrupt fight, and then interrupts the mod. Fred, you're a turd. Yeah, and then we've got Elden Est, who has become a scrapper. Welcome to the team. I will be quite soon. Me and team will be doing joint streams once a month where we get all our patrons and members in only and have some fun with you guys. So thank you for becoming a member, and look out for posts about streams just for you guys. I do appreciate that. Damjan Vishnik for $2. Like real Franz Ferdinand, he's killed by FTFE. I didn't start the First World War. Robert Williams for $2. Show the idiot dew and raindrops. I know, I was going to get to that. That was where my point was about when water's in freefall and there's no forces acting on it, it's always spherical. Copernicus Thinker for $2. FTFE, did you offer him a ciggy before the firing squad? Yep. UTB Doug for £2, sorry. Felicia Ferdinand, RIP 2020. Gripper Crapper for $4.99. Lighten up, Francis. Copernicus Thinker for $2. Franz teaming with Flat Earth Aussie Jesus, dumb and dumber. That's too much density in one area. It will cause a black hole. Carrie Oliver for $33.33. Thank you very much. Boot this satanic witch, please. I thought I was the satanic witch. The Random Explorer for $2. This is Satan's math. Mama said so. Copernicus Thinker for $2. FTFE deserves a medal enduring this fool's fall. Yeah. Well, if I can get my 100,000 plaque, that'd be good enough for me. Everyone sub. Bella Charge for $2 New Zealand. Where can I get this everlasting power for my car? I think that's Franz. Yeah, he's messaging me, but he ran away. So, oh, I've lost the stream now. Shannon Nemi for $4.99 US. FTFE, well done. However, Franz fell a little flat. Watch out for the spy plane. Conspiratard, new member. Welcome to the Scrappers. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Huge Arse for $20 Australian. Thank you. Let's use our sorcerer's powers to put a spell on him. Rangerman 9404 for $2. The dumpster fire melted the ice wall. Yeah, that was pretty hardcore. Conspiratard, new member. Oh, he's upgraded to Brawlers. Thank you very much. Petermus Prime for $5 Australian. How can you even justify your own reality? It's impossible, so therefore your argument is just a red herring. Eldon S for 50 Nokias. Why do you deny your life on this beautiful planet in this amazing universe? If you're a shaman, you should know. Copernicus Thinker for $2. Salute, Reds. Yeah, I had to get Reds on when he's the one doing the observations. The Athens for... Oh God, I think he's coming back in. The Athens for $5. I can't wait to meet up with you on Friday, team. Petermas Prime for another $2. Australian. Drop Dead Fred needs emancipation. Or education, sorry. Emancipation? Where did I get that from? I'm tired, dude. It's 4:30 in the morning here for me. Robert Gassman for $2. The DB needs to calm down. And Copernicus Thinker for $2. I see Fred's true colours shining through. Copernicus Thinker for $2. FTFE, more mum jokes and more cowbell. I know, he got really pissed off at me for doing mum jokes. He kept calling me bitch tits because he seems to like these. So I started doing your mum jokes and he got really quite angry. No, he's trying to call me, reading stuff. The Athens 619 for $5. Where is Dorothy worth all these strawmans? With all these strawmans, yeah. Robert Gassman for $5. How many people's foreheads are swollen right now? That was some serious face palming moments. Petermas Prime for $5 Australian dollars. Does Fred understand that 600 plus viewers are laughing at him? How does he feel about that? He wouldn't understand it. Metal Mitchy Gander for $1.99 US dollars. I'm drunk and a little high, but he's on drugs. Robert Williams for $1.99 US dollars. Oh, Cookie, come on. Just jumped up onto the computer. Say hello. Right, you stay there while I read the chats, okay? Robert Williams for $1.99. No amount of Zoom will bring Franz's brain back. It's all right. Johnny B for $10. It's hard for me to believe that you guys have to explain this stuff over and over again. I thought I would show a little appreciation for your patience. Thank you very much, Johnny B. I do appreciate it. Eldon S for 50 Nokias. Why is it so important that the Earth is flat, that you guys fight so hard for it? Didn't your God make the Earth round? God's Auditor for $5. Flerfs are the most entitled shits I've ever seen. They constantly come in and pick a fight with the ref while demanding special treatments. Fucking losers. Agreed. Copernicus Thinker for $2. Hail Cubal. He needs more cowbell. Christopher Hogan for $2 Australian dollars. We love your video, Red. UTB Doug for £5. Fuck me, he's such a deluded hippie. He sell candles that smell like his vagina soon. Bella Charge for $2. New Zealand. Yes, team, you used the word woofling. Eldon S for 50 Nokias. FTFE, where the hell is your tequila? I've had a fair amount tonight. Sif for $6.66. NASA says hi. Hi, NASA. Johnny B for $5. He doesn't seem to care if he's muted, so much for listening skills. Eldon S for 50 Nokias. Shaman, give me a break. My dick is more shaman than this guy. Rennie Baby for $2. Rage Bitch Titty Quit. Yes. And then NA for $10. FTFE. At no point in his rambling, incoherent response was he anything close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. He wins no points, and may God have mercy on his soul. And that is where, I think that's all of them. Yeah, thank you very much for the super chats, guys. It actually helps more than you know, because I wouldn't be able to keep doing this without the support from you guys, so I really do appreciate it. Thank you to Team Skeptic and Red's Rhetoric, and even Flat Francis, whatever his name is, for coming on. It's been an absolute dumpster fire. This is literally the entire next episode of Tau Ceti Alpha's full retard mode. But for tonight, I'm going to go away and go and get some sleep. If you haven't seen my new video on Nathan Oakley, I released that earlier with Brainy Beaver helping me out. But for now, say goodbye, Cookie. Stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat. 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 Fight the flat.